Look, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerd Migos podcast. We are currently podcasting about 1 meter off the ground. My name is Chris.
My name is Michael.
My name is Ryan.
And I'm George Decay.
Why would you go with the George Decay of all people?
I don't know, because this voice makes me feel...
Oh my, George Decay.
Yes.
Hello.
Was he... this is just because I don't know enough about George Decay. Was he actually in anything else apart from Star Trek?
He was in Heroes.
It was in Heroes?
No. After the fact, because of his obviously pop culture stardom, he's been in lots of sci-fi-ish things.
Yeah,
but was he in anything after, like before that or after that? I like, because essentially, you know that like some actors get typecast on Netflix. Like Katie Sackhoff is in that new sci-fi show. They've cast her in a sci-fi show. There you go.
Or the guy from Terminator 2, like the Terminator.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but he's always a military guy. I'm convinced that he's got his own uniform because he was a general in. Or a colonel in
Star Wars. Ask him, can you turn up? And he goes, which branch of the military were you doing? We're doing Navy. No worries. He's already got that. It wasn't.
George Takei was the voice of Galactus in the Superhero Squad show for Marvel. And he was also the voice of an elder monk in your favourite Spider-Man.
Yeah, see, but that's after Star Trek. So obviously, I think obviously like
a lot of animated Boulder's gay.
Because I think that some of the actors have said that when they do these sort of big franchises, they kind of like that's it for their career. And just, you know,
a couple episodes of Young and the Restless. No, not
yeah,
really.
It's okay, but you know, so. Don't know why we're talking about George Takei, but there we go.
Well, we talked in his voice. It was like a cross between George Takei and...
He was in Adventure Time. Random.
Yeah,
nice.
That's new.
All right, let's get down to business, shall we? Let's get down to the brass tacks of why we're all here. Let's talk Witcher.
The Witcher.
Now, see, for me, since the ending and horrible, sad, and disappointing ending of Game of Thrones, I've been needing a fantasy show. And I've been trying to. I went on Netflix and watched like the Chronicles of Shannara and like stopped after 4 episodes because it felt like I got a nail driving through my skull. And from my understanding, apparently the books are very excellent. Obviously, but I was like, okay, well, you know. And I've been trying to hunt and search for fantasy. And if you also noticed by HBO announcing they're going to do the Dark Ministries TV show, they're also hunting for a fantasy to fill in that, in that void. And until Reel of Time and Lord of the Rings comes out, we need something.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Here we have an 8-episode story arc of the short stories of The Witcher, and we got to see the first trailer. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
As someone coming into it from very little Witcher experience, I was quite erect. It was good, and as I mentioned to you, I was glad that there was very clear that it said this is based on the books. And look, honestly, it looked great. I thought there was a massive spider at the end, but apparently it's a spider crocodile.
It's a crocodile spider, yeah.
Fantastic.
Spider croc.
I think Henry Cavill looks great. I think obviously we've only had one trailer. It looks good to me. I'm in 100%. And I haven't ever played a Witcher game. I want to, but
what's even okay? Well, we won't get down this.
Ryan will be leaving right now.
I want to, but
welcome back to the Fake Nerd Migos.
No, I want to. It's not for. It's just timing.
It's timing.
No, I mean
you do need about 60 hours to really enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do it right.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was fantastic. I want it now. Yeah.
Mike?
Look, I'm the same as Ryan. I'm like, you know, I played a bit of Witcher and all that sort of thing, but as it just looks great. Like Henry Cavill, I think, is a really good cast. At first, I was a bit skeptical because he's played Superman. I'm like, But then seeing the trailer, I'm like, oh wow, he actually, he's
not massively bulked.
No, he's not.
I think the clothes are hiding a lot of the bulk on purpose. Like some of the costume designing, I think they've done on purpose.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, it's cold. Look at the coats he's wearing. It's like you're just trying to hide the fact that the dude is like literally jacked. Like,
what I like too, and you'll probably touch on this, Chris, but what I like though is that the TV show is apparently set on the books.
Yes.
not the games.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit more about that.
There has to be some clear distinctions because I saw a lot of people when they first showed the test footage of him wearing a test wig where basically, and people like lost their mind and go, where's his beard and old man look? And that's from the games. Only in the book he never had that. He was always fairly clean shaven. He was also young in the books. And so
I was going to say, wasn't the book set a lot before the game?
As a game starts, like I can't remember vaguely, but which one, like he had woken up after like 100 years of napping or something. A long nap, basically. They thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But and so like, and another thing that people also, like dumb people, were commenting on going, oh, where's his second sword on his back? It's like, oh, that's a game mechanic because you couldn't always run back to your horse to pick up your sword. Yeah. But in the books, it was very clear that yes, he does carry two swords. In the book, he has two swords, but essentially he doesn't use the silver sword just to kill monsters because some monsters are immune to silver, which he then would use his iron sword. There's the reason why he had two swords, so he had the option of which thing to kill. But also walking around the street, he wouldn't be carrying around his second sword. Why would you do that? That's pointless.
Yeah.
You actually have to be able to reach your swords, and so actually, oftentimes it's actually on the horse's carrot, or the horse's just the horse's on his backpack.
Yep.
And he also hides it a lot. Because
his second sword is really quite a significant.
That's
sword.
a significant sword.
And you wouldn't want to be carrying that around just doing your.
Look, it's a silver sword. I mean.
Well, it'd be like Cloud carrying around his sword in a real world.
I don't know about the world, but essentially, that's a sword you could definitely steal from The Witcher and break down into currency. Then exactly. So, hi guys, here's my wealth in my hand. But I mean, I thought that there were very interesting costume choices and designs. I thought that was very interesting. They showed the Niflheim armor. It was leaked and looked very weird looking, but then when they showed it actually, and like most things, when you see something stationary, you go, ugh. Mm-hmm. When you see it moving, you go, okay, that's fine. And so it had this weird design on it. I was like, okay, it looks weird. But when you saw it, actually in the trailer, going, okay, it's fine. They have a reason for certain things, and because most props and costumes. Most costumes are weird standing still when they're moving. It obviously adds. Yeah. Because they first showed that happened a lot with I think it was the Rib of Robotech. People thought it looked weird. Yeah. The armor, but then obviously because we do CG and things on top of it, that's why it looked a lot better when they're moving. But I thought it was very interesting that they didn't have Henry Cavill talk a lot because talking is not his strength. Let's be honest. It's sorry, not talking. Acting isn't the man's strong suit. No, look, what people say, I love the Mission Impossible because he was a silent CIA agent that kicked ass, and so that's where he does best. Geralt doesn't talk a lot, so I think it's going to be perfectly.
And might play into his strength.
There, and it's for him. It's once again showing Warner Brothers that he is a big actor. Pay him some money so he can become Superman again. And that's what we all want. I don't want them to cast Superman as some tween. I don't want to hear tomorrow they've announced I don't know one of the other One Directions. Zayn from One Direction going, Zayn from One Direction is now Superman. I'd be like going,
yeah, I'm already on the fence with DC for many reasons, as we all know. Don't.
Yeah, I want them to stick with Cavill, and so hopefully the story goes well. People go, he's a bankable star. Let's stick with Cavill. Jamie, what's your thoughts?
On Cavill or
Cavill Zayn from One Direction? What are your thoughts?
Well,
is he the one that they've cast in the Little Mermaid?
I don't know. I didn't know if Zayn's in. I actually don't even know if Zayn is in One Direction. It's just no,
there is a Zayn in One Direction.
Oh, okay. Well, I just know there's a singer named Zayn. I didn't know where he's from, so I assumed One Direction. But what do you think of the trailer, Jamie?
No, look, I loved it. But I think I was the first one to watch it.
You were, and I was super skeptical.
One of the greatest things about the San Diego Comic-Con was, in Australia, you wake up to all these trailers, and you go one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. I watched it 3 times in a row. I was excited because I love fantasy, but it's got to get me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to grip you.
Of course.
Yeah. See,
it gripped me, and I was just like, yes.
I'm a little different than Jamie, where if I could live in a fantasy universe with a sword and walk around I would just be like, yes, let's do that. Yeah. I don't need cell phones. I just
no Fire Emblem though, Chris.
Oh, no Fire Emblem.
But I will be living. You will be living Fire Emblem. You will be working for the evil church.
The people that have what's it from? How much of that? The only people that haven't watched Star Wars are the people inside Star Wars. Because they live the Star Wars. They live the Star Wars. But so it's apparently coming at the end of the year. My concern with that is obviously production and shooting.
You think it was too quick?
I think it's too quick.
You want a lot more post-production, don't you?
I do. That's what I mean. That's why.
Is it coming out like normal Netflix, just everything at once so you can binge it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's Netflix's business model.
Well, they did try it with a couple of shows.
They try with a few shows.
but
Like,
really
they'll do that when the show's actually airing on a network. So
Yes.
it's like the Star Trek show when it airs on another network in America, they'll release it
because
piecemeal.
they won't. CBS
really
will not let it happen.
Yeah. But I'm not a fan of piecemeal releases. Obviously, I'm a big fan of like.
I want it now so I can binge it.
But especially if it's good, you don't want to have to wait week to week.
The thing is, I just started an anime. Yes, I watch anime.
I watch anime.
And Chris got me onto it. It's called Vinland Saga.
We talked about that, yeah.
Now, it is an incredible anime, one of the best I've ever seen.
Is that on Prime?
But
Yes.
However, what Chris did not mention is that it is in fact a piecemeal show. So I got to episode 3 where there's this huge cliffhanger.
Oh, really?
And
You have to wait.
that's it. No more next episode. Where's the next episode blurb? But no,
Oh, it's not another Castlevania, is it?
No, they release all. They release all. Yeah, it's a piecemeal show.
That's the same thing with Castlevania on Netflix. They release 3 episodes that go for 25 minutes each, and I want more.
You see, and when
you
I
wait a year for the next.
Yeah.
and when I talk about this kind of thing, because it was announced like fairly recently that the Wheel of Time have gone into production now.
Yes.
Yes,
After
very
like,
excited.
but that's basically been like 10 to 12 months of pre-production, and I'm like, good, good.
But that's a lot more involved than the Witcher.
That's what I'm actually incredibly excited about the Wheel of Time series because I love the books.
If you didn't see it, it's a visual podcast. Michael did a little dance.
Yes, I did. I really, I did my little Wheel of Time dance.
But so my concern is obviously with the show would be like from announcement to shooting to now, it's been real quick.
Well, I'm assuming it's a show where there's going to be a fair bit of CGI, so they're going to need a bit of time.
I
to
would
do
think
the-
not. I think they're probably going to do it like if it's a lot of CGI, they couldn't do it this quickly. So it's going to be probably a lot of practical effects and things because that's the thing.
Because isn't from my knowledge, I don't know if it's different for the game. The book, Gerard is a monster.
He's a monster hunter, but some monsters are big. Some monsters are basically like vampires living in crypts.
Okay,
and things.
alright,
Or like I think one of the ones from the short stories. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like a lich creature that lived in a crypt, which. You could do that with makeup and
you
stuff like
could,
that. That's not hard to do. But then obviously there's also the giant spider crocodile, which obviously is the
wow, that's like
cliffhanger.
nightmares coming to life. There, I have severe arachnophobia.
Spider croc does
Does whatever the bloody hell it wants because it's a spider croc.
comes out of the mist, and then Geralt raises his sword, and it's like cut. Sorry, that's the way out the budget.
I will never.
They just took like 2 charts of animals. And then they
I will
rolled
never
dice.
cheer for a hero
We
as much
just
as
rolled
I
a
do when
3.
he
That's
kills
number
that.
3 is a crocodile, and then we roll I rolled a 4. That means on column B a spider. So, we have a crocodile spider.
But he still looks capable with a sword.
Oh yeah.
Cavill, like
Yeah, he did.
But he's also done a lot of movies with swords before, so he's actually hopefully like because he did Immortal. Was it Mortals? Yeah,
Mortal Engine.
Immortals. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yes,
he's done other things as well where he's actually used a sword. So I wouldn't.
That was before Superman,
That was
wasn't it?
before Superman. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a while ago. Yeah,
right before 2011. I think.
But again, like, so we're all excited. We'll all see what happens with this show.
When's the release? October, is it? September?
No, they said late end year. So I'm thinking December, to be honest.
Is that this year or next year?
this year?
This year.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this. To be honest, I'm thinking December.
Let's hope
maybe.
it's December.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, I think probably December at the earliest. We'll probably.
Oh, right in time for Christmas holidays. We take a week off.
That's
and
it.
let's,
Speaking my language.
Then watch
I'm sure we'll do a Witcher cast or something.
You finish your Christmas lunch.
a live Witcher cast.
Yeah, you finish your Christmas lunch and you go back and just watch some Witcher. That's like
That's what you do.
We'll have to do it. We'll have to. No doubt this will be something we'll all be watching within the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So no doubt we'll probably do a Witcher cast.
and
or
you walk
something.
around and what are you doing? Killing monsters. that's what I loved about like that game. That when you first saw the trailer, the first trailer was basically of The Witcher 3 was like basically like some evil criminals like hanging like an innocent girl, and then like he rides by and they go, "What are you doing here?" It's like killing monsters and kills all the guys who say kills all the people who are gonna hang the girl. Like, oh yeah, because in the world like. The whole thing about the game is in the books is like the monsters are there, but the real monsters are actually people but we're evil. You know, and it's like that's the whole thing. And then in the game you like dance around, you play a lute, and you catch flowers. It's like going, but in the trailer you see this gritty like I'm Geralt of Rivia and I'm killing monsters. Would you like to play some Magic the Gathering? Because the game went where you literally just walk around the town going, who wants to play some cards? and they're going, wow, that trailer of the game in the game is very
He's got like
different.
his huge sword slung across his chair. I played this card first down.
And then my turn. And the funniest thing about the card thing people pointed out is like you're in this massively epic quest that goes, please, sir, find my wife and daughter. Cuts it ends. Would you like to play some cards? Yes. yes, I would like to play some cards.
So let's face it, a lot
It's
of
huge dialogue of like maybe to say in the world is with subtext and culture and just you know, and just tension and just this beautiful scene of dialogue and then cards.
got any threes.
But anyway,
A lot of games have that.
That was a good game, though.
Like in the
actually, no, the Witcher Gwent game actually is a really well designed side game.
I actually did spend quite a lot of time playing that. When I did play that game, I was.
I was like, I like how they give us this Gwent and they put this whole game around this whole Gwent.
You could literally go and collect the card. Like you could do side quests and get the super rare cards and all that sort of thing. Apparently,
And the most rarest card was himself. Like literally, like when you're playing.
You are the rare.
how would he lose that?
How did he not have like I play myself? Anyway,
But yeah, like in Spider-Man on the PS4, like there's these missions that you just like you got to catch pigeons.
Yeah,
And you're like-
I hated that one.
Why?
what? Heavenly Rain PS3 had to throw like things at frisbees. Like you had to throw like there's a whole thing where like the whole puzzle was basically like gongs. You had to throw like things at gongs. That was the most painful thing in the universe. Anyway,
It's just like, why do you put them in there?
That was like Final Fantasy VIII, the card game in that. That was the.
again, So every good.
That took off over a piece of my soul. There.
Exactly. Yeah. Every good game needs some kind of card game inside of it, or some sort of mini game. So I wouldn't call it Gwent a mini game. But based upon what I've seen, it's the main quest of the.
it's Gwent, but with a little bit of political.
Card game first, Monster Hunter second.
Monster hunting, finding his lost daughter, stopping Nilfgaard invading invading the rest of the kingdom. Side quest. The main quest is he's trying to complete his Gwent deck.
Build the perfect deck.
Yeah.
I want to play this game just to collect the deck.
You can really because it can be all about him finding himself.
Or in the R-rated version, it's about him playing with himself.
It is the R-rated version.
Yeah.
It's like who you want to shag. That's what the game's about.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's three.
It would kind of be cool,
There's
though.
three choices. One, there's the right choice, which is Triss.
Yes.
Like the good choice.
Well, no. That's just my. This is preferential. Like, yeah.
Because this is like for a redhead.
Yeah. Cool. And then obviously there's Yennefer, which is obviously like his old love, but she broke up with him, so I'm like, why would he go back? Like that's And then there's this random other witch. So then and then also there's a brothel with a whole bunch of elves. So depends. Whatever takes your fancy.
Okay. Note to self: buy Witcher.
But honestly, you should play it. Everyone should be like. I think I've said like this 1,000 times about Witcher, but I'll say it again. It's like, come on. It's,
Yeah.
No, I will get
I've
there.
been meaning to go back. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma at the moment.
that's time you could be playing Witcher
I
and
do
getting
know that.
Gwent and playing Gwent.
I know, but it was a holiday thing. But no, like Dragon's Dogma was great, except the storytelling's pretty.
There's no
bad.
storytelling.
It's like it's such a great concept. The mechanics are really good, but there's no real. Amazing story.
But that game, that game for me was broken because when I became when I got the Mystic Knight class, you drop like 6 orbs and basically they're like T-ball stands. You just swing your weapon through them and shoot energy balls everywhere, and you just sit back and you're like
everything catches on fire.
Everything catches on fire, and it was basically you just sit back and area full of monsters. And then you go batter up, and you start swinging your way, and then destroys the entire area.
And then when you do a heavy attack, it shoots like 3 at once.
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, that's fun.
It's fun.
But with The Witcher, I really have no excuse because at the moment on the PlayStation Network, it's like $13 for the year edition.
If you don't get Witcher and you don't play Witcher, and
My goal is to play it before the TV show comes out.
like the one thing that I really
You
love
won't finish it, even if you start now.
the amazing thing about it, like the game, is like it does this whole it's the show note. It's got the show don't tell kind of story mechanics inside of it, where some of the side quests are better than most main stories, main game quests, and the fact is that. There's one scene we actually meet the king, and instead of okay, you have to stop, walk 3 steps, bow, do this whole thing, and you can learn it, or you can just be a dick and walk through and hey, what's up?
The Witcher.
Exactly, and I was a dick. Anyway,
So Witcher good.
Witcher good.
Yeah, which are good.
Now, As I mentioned, at the San Diego Comic-Con, Jamie has to now eat some humble pie because what was Jamie's last words to me? Which basically going, now that Endgame's done, Marvel Cinematic Universe has absolutely no steam behind it.
That's definitely how
It's like you were playing a recording of him saying that.
so accurate.
His pipe going, put all your stocks in Avatar now. Yes. Who wants to see the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris is actually holding a pipe. He's like,
the Cinematic Universe.
Not my words, but
I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but
there was some embellishment. Some embellishment.
oh, so like a movie based on a true story.
Yeah,
you only need 10% accuracy.
Yeah.
But I mean, so they announced Phase 4. Let's talk Phase 4.
Yes, please.
Everyone thought that Kevin Feige hated TV. He doesn't.
No.
He just hates it. He doesn't have control over TV.
Now that he has
control over TV.
we need some good damn TV.
He's actually not going to link. He's not going to link the world together because essentially the TV show was trying to link to the movies, but then the movies weren't linking to the TV because he was like going, "Go away, you're."
And before, when he didn't like it all, we'd get the occasional mention in Agents of Shield. Or that
was still
nothing.
TV,
Yeah.
and that was still he hated it all. But now obviously he's now got full control over that.
Yes.
He's now characters going back and forth between TV and movies. I'm like going,
Because half of the announcements were TV and half of them were movies. It was like literally 50-50 pretty much.
So the things that we knew about WandaVision, which is the weirdest title. I don't know if it's like Wanda/Vision or just WandaVision. Like what's like?
I found out a bit of information about that actually.
Yeah, what did you find out, man?
It's going to be set in a few different time periods, from what I heard. It's initially starting in the 50s.
Oh.
So the majority of the show is going to be is going to take place in the 50s. Now I questioned that.
How does Wanda get there?
I questioned that. I'm like, well, hold on, she's only young. So basically, what it is some sort of time travel happening.
I thought we were going to get a young Magneto sneak.
No, it's going to be. It's actually.
Please don't say that.
TV show.
Nothing else we happen now is going to be better than young Magneto having one. Oh, okay, crap.
It's actually going to be a comedy. It's the one Marvel show that's going to be a comedy. Yeah. So not a comedy, but it's like it's going to be more comedy.
WandaVision is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yes. No, it's going to be more of a.
Hey, it's me, Wanda.
Ethnic kiss.
Sitcom stuff. Yeah. No, so apparently it's going to be set in current time and in the past. So that's all they really announced about that I heard of direct from.
So they don't even know what they're doing.
No.
They could. It could.
And then there's obviously Cap and the Falcon, which again that's cool. I'll enjoy that.
And that has been announced that it's going to be set after Endgame.
There's Marvel What If, which is basically spin-off stories, which is going to be very interesting.
So that's going to be run by the Watcher, Uatu, and he's going to be telling these stories. Each episode is going to be a different story.
From my understanding, one I'm more interested about was that Peggy Carter gets the super soldier suit, not Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers gets an Iron Man suit in that era.
And there's another one where Peter Parker wasn't bitten by the spider. Flash Thompson was. Back from the old days.
I hope it's not the current Flash Thompson.
No, from what I'm understanding, it's kind of that's where they're sort of that's a multiverse thing. So it might not be Tom Holland, obviously, all that kind of stuff.
No, but I mean, if it's a multiverse, they're going to link it into Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
obviously, that's what Doctor Strange is. Obviously, the most exciting announcement: the multiverse of madness. Apparently, Marvel's first horror movie.
Also starring Scarlet Witch. She's going to be in
that. Was an obvious thing to put them together. Both mystical arts people. Both like to use their hands for magic signs.
Hands.
And after Endgame, Scarlet Witch can definitely hold her own.
She can hold her own against everything, which is good to see her in a movie because I don't think that kind of her powers are not really lent for TV in terms of the special effects required to make them look good. So, like hovering in the air, throwing stuff, it's kind of something that's not really on television a lot because
unless it's just her face and you don't see what she's doing.
Exactly, because it's horrendously expensive to CGI all that crap. Anyway, but that's actually one of my favorite announcements. There's also because I love Doctor Strange horror movie themes, and he's one of the sort of surviving leftover returning quote unquote Avengers, which I don't think he's going to be an Avenger going forward because it's not really. It never really was his thing to be an Avenger anyway.
It's not his thing. Yeah.
But I think he'd be good because he was a big part of the Defenders as well. The original Defenders, not the Luke Cage.
Not the crappy
Daredevil one.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange was a big part of the Defenders, and he works well with smaller teams.
Yeah.
Not to say that the Avengers don't call up on him when they need him.
Obviously, yeah.
But he's more of a
he's a master
let
of the
me do
mystics
my
stuff.
own thing kind of thing. You know, I've got to deal with all these hell dimensions and stuff like that.
If the universe is in peril, then sure
he'll step in like he did. You know, in Endgame, but and another announcement for that one was they're going to be apparently bringing in the ye old Nick Fury, the original white Nick Fury.
Interesting.
I haven't seen.
Was his eye scratched out by a dog?
I don't know.
I really didn't like that.
But no, apparently that was announced. That's again straight from Marvel's mouth. That they're bringing in. No mention, as Jamie said to me the other day, of David Hasselhoff reprising his role. From
that would be awesome.
That 80s
That
movie.
needs to happen.
If Hasselhoff doesn't reprise his role, then they've obviously missed a huge opportunity.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just. I mean, to me, that's just a failure of marketing.
Maybe he's just too drunk to do it now. I don't know, but I mean, with the multiverses, I guess where they can bring him in, anything with multiverses, you can just say, "Hey, we're bringing in."
Unless he's too busy writing German pop music, then
Absolutely.
But either way, the Germans will follow, so there'll be a big.
Oh yeah.
big
I reckon.
market
Yeah.
there.
Doctor Strange Madness of Multiverse, #1 movie in Germany.
Yeah.
If the Hoff was in it.
Yeah.
the Hoff.
But no, I'm interested.
I'm interested to see that one as well. I think the multiverse is how he's going to get back his time stone. I think he's going to just basically swipe it off another Doctor Strange. like
Trust me,
It'd be pretty hard.
You would not do
It'd
this.
be pretty hard to take it off yourself, though.
well, no, just like find a
you from the
time.
future.
Find a time where Doctor Strange dies in battle, then just goes. I'm just going to take this.
The one in the 4 million multiverse.
Find one of the multiverse where he loses, then take the stone off the.
Or where he's just about to hand it to Thanos.
Yoink.
And then,
But I mean, he's powerful enough without the stone, but the stone is obviously like the Eye of Agamemnon is just cool. So to me, it's not Doctor Strange without having that.
Yeah.
So he does need to get it back. So that's
100%.
The time stone is sort of like the cheat stone because you can just go back in time.
Yeah, that's why. That's why he doesn't use it because it's so dangerously powerful.
I saw a funny college humor video the other day where it was like how Endgame should have ended or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Iron Man's dying, so he's on the field dying, and then Doctor Strange walks up and goes, "Oh, that's cute, yeah," and then reverses the time to make you heal it. Like, bet you thought you were going to die there, buddy.
So that's another thing. Obviously, they're going the multiverse route, and all these things we're hearing. I'd be curious to know if they're going to still continue with the Baron Mordo storyline. That was kind of like that bit of a stinger at the end.
No, I think they will because I think they're just Is he? I don't think that guy's a one-time Marvel.
No, not at all. He's a big
I think
Doctor
he'll come back but essentially, how he comes back is obviously
maybe leave it for number 3.
Maybe leave it for number 3.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine. It depends if they will make another one. Hopefully they'll make more Doctor Strange. The other movie that was announced that we'll talk about before we get to Eternals, and my other favorite one is obviously they announced Thor,
which is actually now my favorite. I did a complete turnaround.
which is obviously like a complete change in the Marvel brand where he's getting a 4th solo film.
Yes.
Again, that's very, very odd.
Yeah.
But apparently if you make 2 bad ones or 1 bad one,
they don't count.
Apparently the bad ones don't count. And it's like,
So technically we should get an Iron Man 4, shouldn't we, as well?
We should get Iron Man 4, yes, because the bad ones doesn't count. Anyway.
I think it's the order of the bad one.
True. That's true. Yeah.
But as soon as I
went good Thor, bad Thor, great Thor.
Yeah. But Iron Man was great Iron Man, good Iron Man, bad Iron Man.
Yeah.
Then the diminishing returns, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they haven't announced much of the storyline. They will announce that Jane Foster, Natalie Portman is Thor, which is awesome because essentially who couldn't portray the God of Thunder than a 5'2" woman who weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. That's all the muscle you need. Now, obviously she'll need to hit the gym.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or they'll do the whole.
Or they'll CGI her up. That's
Or
fine.
they'll just get I think the CGI is more likely than getting because in the comics she I've read the arc, it's fantastic, but she looks nothing like the Jane Foster. She's got cancer, but
see the thing is,
they could do what they did in the comics, kind of like. You could see them getting another actress to play her.
You could do the Captain America.
At first, when I first heard about Natalie Portman as Thor, I hated it. I was like, what the hell? Because I didn't know anything about female Thor in the comics. So I was like, what the hell? Where is this coming from? I haven't heard from her for like 2 or 3 movies, and her as female Thor, like, really, Natalie Portman? But then I found out about what the comics are about and about female Thor, and it is now almost one of my favourite characters in Marvel.
Incidentally, one of the lowest.
The story arc of female Thor.
Very good story arc, one of the lowest selling
gosh.
comics of all time, which is very weird for them to go with something that's sold so badly.
But I think maybe that's good with Marvel. They're going to go, you know what, it didn't sell very well, but the fans that love it,
love it. Of course, yeah.
So,
but my thing is, she got that. How she got the powers in the book, because technically anyone who picks up Thor's hammer got the power. But Thor's hammer doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
So
no, it does though. In Endgame, he got it from another.
Yeah, but
time.
Captain America got it back.
Captain America brought it back.
Oh.
Because he had to put the hammer back exactly at that point, or else Thor wouldn't have a hammer.
again, Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Yeah, but essentially, so how, what
true.
kind of powers she's going to get? Because the other Mjolnir weapon was Stormbreaker, which was held by Beta Ray Bill, but that's actually technically now held by Thor.
Beta Ray Bill. That brings him in, man.
But Stormbreaker is not held by Beta Ray Bill; it's held by Thor now. So unless she actually gets Stormbreaker, which would be interesting, that'd be quite cool to have her have Stormbreaker. Then Thor loses all powers and becomes Thor the Unworthy, which again, one of my favorite actually. Comic book storylines that we've seen. You see Thor with the mechanical arm and like the axe over his shoulder and like the hood on. It's actually one of my favorite all Thors, like literally, because it's just like.
But he goes to Odin and he's like, I don't have my hammer anymore. Odin's like, here's an autumn axe, and hands it over, and it's pretty.
So it's like, let me just rummage through my bag of mystical weapons.
To be honest with you, with
sack of mystical weapons.
To be honest with you, with Taika Waititi on board again, I'm down.
Oh, it's going to be all kinds of crazy, and I'm fine with that.
And the title alone says it: Love and Thunder in 80s retro riding.
Retro riding. I was like going, look, it's going to
after
be
Ragnarok.
Now, let's be honest. We want Korg, but not too much.
I'd like a little bit.
A little bit Korg goes a long way.
Leave me wanting for more Korg.
A little bit of
perfect
Korg.
amount in Endgame.
That's the right amount of Korg.
Yeah.
If he becomes a main character, I'm not sure if I want that.
Yeah.
But a little bit of Korg is good. Like,
and I think Taika Waititi is a good enough and humble enough person to realise.
I don't know. He stars in most of his films.
Yeah, only in
What
we do in the shadows.
That was kind of like his first thing, and that's a great movie.
In Hunt for the Wilder People, he was only in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
but if we give M. Night shit for being his own films, we've got to give Taika the same level of shit.
But I'm excited.
But the difference is they're good movies, so we can.
After Ragnarok, I'm on board. I'm just so happy when they announced that he was back. So
and then what it was like. Let's talk about the other announcements on that same day. That I thought was awesome. Let's talk about first. Let's talk about Eternals. Very excited. Finally, they announced the cast. This is the cast that we talked about. They were going to announce. No one noticed that they gender swapped the main leader of Eternals into a female. I didn't mind that, but it was really funny. Everyone's just going, I'm not going, hey. Yeah, dude in the. But I was like, that's fine. Salma Hayek. Yeah. Who doesn't like Salma Hayek? Exactly. So I'm like, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek,
and we actually got a vision of what the Celestials might look like as well.
And big news here: Chris Warner from the Megas is starring in it as well.
We'll post the photo on
just because there's one Korean actor, we don't all.
No, but you genuinely. I've known you.
All Koreans don't look alike. Thank you very much.
All Koreans look like Chris. I've known you my whole life. I know the difference between.
Yes, there are some genetic similarities. Anyway, they've also announced. What was it? There was a really interesting cast. I think the main female is deaf in real life, which is cool because they announced like she'll be the first big sort of like MCU hero with a hearing impediment. So, but then essentially, what I guess. My thing now is like I'm actually interested if that's going to be the character will just silently understand her, or actually, so that's going to be interesting to see what path they go down that route.
Definitely.
It's got an interesting cast. But essentially it's all going to be based around how good the storyline is. From my understanding, from what Kevin Feige said, it was based around like from them from Earth until now in terms of what they've been doing. Why they as Jamie pointed out the other day, recently, why weren't they fighting in the Avengers and things?
It's been on Earth the entire time.
But essentially, I would think that there'll be something that happens around, say, like the myth era of Greek mythology, where they just gave up on humanity, and that'd be cool to see. That go like screw this nonsense.
Well, the line-up kind of comes from Neil Gaiman's run on the Eternals. So, and that's essentially a big thing. They're just like, well, we have given up. Like we've given chance after chance, and then you just keep screwing up.
Yeah. So what's the point? What's the point of it?
You know what I mean? So I think I'm excited to bring it on. It's something different.
Yep.
And I think that's what we need.
Yeah. And so that will be, I think,
2021.
No, it's 2020, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, November 2020. That's the late 2021, which is good.
Second MCU film.
Yeah.
I think didn't Black Widow first?
Yeah.
Black Widow and then
it's just very weird to see Angelina Jolie standing on the stage talking about Phase 4 of Marvel. You're going, what are you doing here?
It's like it's like she's too good for it almost. Like yeah.
Well, no, she actually wasn't. She was actually quite, like, if you watched the interview, she was on the stage. She was actually like fairly excited and things are doing it because essentially Marvel's owned by Disney and she wants movies made, and so now if Disney approaches you,
she's basically Queen of Disney at the moment.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I guarantee you. There's this whole Maleficent 2, they're making a movie. I actually really like Maleficent 1, but I guarantee you there was a part of the contract that said, hey, we'll do Maleficent 2, but I also want you to talk to Kevin Feige about a Marvel film. Hey?
And now that you get, exactly. And look, I think she'll be great. She's a fantastic actress.
Oh, look, she's almost too good of an actress to be in a Marvel movie because what is
but then you got to think about it. We had
Anthony Hopkins.
Yes. That is one of my favourite scenes in all of Marvel was Thor getting banished. And you watch the behind the scenes footage and there's no music
and it's still powerful.
Just powerful.
And then we had Glenn Close and Robert Redford. So there's been some pretty.
Who essentially came out of retirement to do that role. You know.
Okay. So apparently people should go to Marvel movies now because it's cool. That's fine. And also the money. And
we're just waiting for Nick Cage to
back up a truck full of money to their house.
I bet you Nick Cage is just sitting there with at his answering machine going, "Come on, just call me." I'll be in your movie.
I think it's really funny that Marvel started off by having $100 million production value. The reason how they get that money is because this actor salary was like $200,000 lower, and they gave them the minimum to get them into the movie so they can spend all the money on the effects. And now they're to the point where they can just
they make the effect.
now that Chris Hemsworth will be like, I want $22 million per movie, and they go, okay. That's fine.
Damn, I should have gone higher.
I think it was either yourself or Jamie mentioned Far From Home, the first Spider-Man movie to make $1 billion or something. That. I mean, that
had because it had MCU fingerprints all over it. Without the MCU fingerprints all over it, it doesn't get anywhere near that.
You can put MCU on anything, and it will turn into gold. You know what I mean?
But the MCU movie after Endgame too.
Yeah,
but I did like the fact that true to MCU, Far From Home's villain was a scientist.
Yeah.
Let's be true about this.
Yeah.
What's the real evil in the world? Science.
Let's No. If we're going to be PhDs.
PhDs, yeah. People with PhDs, evil. According to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
If we want to be fair, they have a higher rate of becoming.
Anyone with an advanced master's degree also because Hammond was an advanced master's.
At the same time, that is very Spider-Man. It's always someone he knows.
Yeah, I wanted it to be original to the original Mysterio, which is basically just a theatre major with a bit of special effects. But obviously they couldn't because that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. But I think they did well connecting it to Tony Stark.
Definitely. And it wasn't oversaturated. It was
like to me the scene that really sold to me was when he's telling the story and then you see him actually speaking the words, but then bath. He called it bath backstage. I was going, that's cool.
They actually connected back to the first Iron Man.
Yeah, and that was great. I thought that was good.
I thought it was a little bit. It kind of reminded me I got the same sort of butthurt I got when I saw the Mandarin.
Mandarin.
That damn Mandarin. We don't like that.
The Mandarin in Iron Man 3, but at least with the Mysterio, that he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Whereas the Mandarin is an actual.
Yeah. Now speaking of Mandarin,
we get to see the real Mandarin.
Now we get to see.
Can we say it properly? The Mandarin.
The Mandarin. Now
the Mandarin.
Everyone obviously. what I don't know if everyone watched that one shot of All Hail the King or Hail the King or something.
Yeah,
I never saw it.
It's actually really good because essentially what it is like Trevor goes to prison, and he's like a celebrity in prison because like, oh yeah, you talked about Iron Man, it's like, and then like he gets an interview, and then like they have a camera in front of him, and he goes, oh yeah, and the guy goes, yeah, cool. So you're coming with us now? And he's like, what? And he goes, yeah. He doesn't like when people take his name, and they look and they see the people like with the ten ring symbol, and then like they kidnap him. They kidnap Trevor, and they're going.
And that was a lot of Marvel backpedaling, but I was happy they did that.
But
that was made because of the fans.
Yeah,
but I think it's important because there's a few things. Not like Mandarin is a famous Chinese Marvel villain.
Yeah. Not a British.
They made him a British drunk Indian, which is again the people. Americans go, oh, but that's Asian. It's the same.
No,
it's not.
Not when you come to the Mandarin.
Yeah, no, it is not. And they go, okay, we'll make him a white scientist. Better? No.
I'm okay with some of the D-list guys, them changing that, but not one of the most powerful villains in the Marvel freaking universe.
Yeah. And now they've announced the actor.
He looks good.
Looks good.
So they're obviously the real Mandarin.
Yeah, and then they've also they put it inside the Shang-Chi movie, which I'm really excited about. And the thing that I'm like,
it comes out on my birthday.
Will there be a great?
Nice.
I think the interesting with obviously the casting of Shang-Chi, they chose Canadian actor, I think Simon Liu, I think his name is. I've only known him from Kim's Convenience on Netflix,
Kim's Convenience,
which is fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
And he's a very funny actor, but I'm going, can you pull up anything not funny?
Did you see the tweets though, back from 2008?
He tweeted out.
Why don't you use me? And then after it got announced at Comic-Con, he goes, thanks for that. He retweeted his 2008 tweet.
I saw another tweet with it says like, well, this time last year I was sitting in my undies eating crackers or something like that, and now this day I'm doing the same thing. But I'm also a superhero.
But he looks the part. He looks cool.
The part. The dude obviously like works out. He's quite
definitely.
fit. You see him online like doing backflips and shit. So,
and he's a good actor because you're right. In Kim's Convenience, he's amazing. So
he plays dumb really well in the show. It's really funny.
It's a good show. Good Canadian comedy.
If you want to watch a good show, Kim's Convenience on Netflix. Good Canadian comedy.
Season 4 or something.
Actually, it's one of my favourite shows.
I think I have a lot of comedians for Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
But Paul Rudd, Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
But I do like, there was him and he wanted the role, and also another Chinese actor, what's his name, who was the Black Power Ranger, also was like keen for the role as well.
Yeah,
they both really wanted the role. Yeah. But I think they went with, but someone has a bit more charisma, so I think that's why they went with him. Because he's a bit more like, he's got a really good vibe.
Definitely. He's very energetic and he's very passionate about it.
And so
I think he'll do well.
I think he'll do really well.
And no doubt he'll be training from now until then, hopefully, if he needs to.
I don't think he would need. It looks like
martial arts stuff.
He might. I'm not saying he knows martial arts, but he's fit enough to be able to pull it off. So that's fine. I'm fine with that. The thing that I'm more curious of is which version. As Jamie said, is he going to be a street level hero? I don't think they'd bring him in as a street level.
If he's going to go up against the Ten Rings and the Mandarin, I don't.
No, that's not street level. That's not street level hero.
He worked a lot with Iron Fist in the comics and Luke Cage.
I think they're going to bring him to main MCU roster, which is, based on the results of Crazy Rich Asians, the world is ready for an Asian hero.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so. I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And I love Crazy Rich Asians. That's why a good movie. Anyway, but I think what are they going to do with these powers? Is the more interesting one. I think they're going to give him the multi-men power a bit earlier than he does in the comics. He eventually gets that power. Yeah. But I think that's going to be the starting power. Because regardless of how weak you are, if you can make 100 of you, it doesn't matter. You've got 100 of you. It doesn't matter how
But he's
doesn't matter how weak you are. It's 100 of you guys.
But wasn't he that power? I haven't read Shang-Chi for a while. He literally putting a portion of himself. Yeah, so they're all a weaker version.
They're all a slightly weaker version, but he's because of his inner chi strength. It's still stronger than a normal person, and that person's still a master of weaponry. Yeah. So it's
like 100 Captain Americas.
The point is like going, if I'm weaker than you, that's fine. If I'm a master of kung fu and with a sword, it doesn't matter how weak I am. It's a sword. Yeah. I need 2 pounds of pressure to pierce your skin. Like it's a sword. Yeah. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
I think it's great cool. Strength with a sword.
It's a fresh breath of air. It's something different. Again, like I said, I'm down for it.
I'm excited about that.
The action scenes of being able to have
Oh, yeah.
like
No, it really depends on who they breed.
The raid.
yes.
No.
Will that work as Marvel?
They've already done the raid in Captain America style. I want them to go back to traditional, like, just, you know. Yeah,
Are you talking about the elevator scene in
Bruce Lee.
Captain America?
yeah, they've already done like the raid, but I want them to go back to it's more Bruce Lee kind of fighting. It's essentially, unfortunately, like. This Bruce Lee would be perfect for this role. Of John G.
I know, right? But in the Shang-Chi comics, he's the master of calling out the names of his moves that he uses before he uses them, which is very Bruce Lee. Kind of feel like he'll go.
I want to see that.
Dragon Tiger Punch and yell it out.
But if he doesn't have nunchucks, then I'll be like, no, you're not really Shang-Chi without a good pair of nunchucks and sneakers. Now. After that, they had those. I mean, already that's a pretty solid suite of movies.
Yeah.
There's no Avengers, which is I think the right call.
Yes.
Well, again,
Feige said they're not doing Avengers until they bought X-Men.
Until I heard
because
that
they don't have enough characters at the moment to make a decent. Let's look at the current roster of heroes that they have on Avengers roster.
Black Panther,
Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange.
Yep.
That's not exactly.
It doesn't scream Avengers.
That's not exactly Earth's mightiest heroes. That's like the ones that survive the battle.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's leftovers.
Yeah, and so they're doing the right thing because essentially when they announce the big one, it's going to be like they'll change they'll have all.
Well, I'm fine with no Avengers movies for the next couple of years. I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think that's the right call to do as well.
Yeah.
But obviously one of the smaller announcements that were made that people were shocked at was that Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And
Blade.
And
Blade.
Mutants. He mentioned both Fantastic Four and Mutants. Going, we didn't talk about Mutants and Fantastic Four. Everyone going, I'm sorry, what?
And
what's
of
going
course
on?
he meant to do that.
So are they going to bring mutants into Fantastic Four? Like, is that how they're going to introduce it? Or
not sure, but essentially, from my understanding, that's going to be Phase 5. Will be basically. Fantastic
I don't
Four.
think they. To be honest with you, the X-Men deserve their own. There'll be a reason why they come in, and a lot of people are speculating because of the snap.
I speculate it's going to be a snap event.
Yeah.
So people who came back from the snap.
Yeah.
Part of the human's defense system to not snapped again was develop mutant powers, and I think that makes complete logical sense.
I think so too. Yeah,
that's the number one rating theory going around.
Yeah,
I think they'd be stupid not to jump on that.
Because that's a great theory. They're going, why has there even been no mutants? Because essentially we didn't exist, and then the snap. Everyone, the blip as they're calling it now. Everyone came back, and then obviously because we came back, some of the people developed powers to as a human response to.
And it's good that they don't bring them into Phase 5 because it gives some time to elapse to these people to figure out. Hold on, what am I?
They're starting to see powers emanating. Yeah, they're like, what's going on? Yeah.
So that's I'm happy with that. And as Jamie pointed out, they also announced Blade.
Yes. As a movie.
Paul Wesley Snipes. He's not credited with being the first black superhero, which he is. Let's be honest. Let me be very clear. Blade is the first black superhero, not Black Panther.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, that's because current people can't look past 2000s.
And the Blade movies were fantastic.
I love the Blade movies.
Me too. They're watchable.
You still have my trilogy at home.
It's not. It's not like they're saying let's ignore Blade as the first Marvel hero or the first black superhero because they were shit. They were amazing movies.
They were incredible movies.
The second one to me was one of my favorite ones. Because I was a government and he goes, I'm going to make the strain now.
That's what I was saying. The same thing. But no, he was Wesley Snipes. That was the kickstarting for the Marvel universe. Iron Man, yes, was the catalyst, but the first jumping foray into Marvel with Blade.
And then that also gave us Ryan Reynolds and what's it?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds first.
And what's that other girl?
Oh yeah, Hunter. He played Hannibal.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Yeah, sorry.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. You're right. As Whistler's daughter.
Seventh Heaven. What a great TV show that was.
Anyway, except for the main father being found out to be a child molester, and he played a priest in the show. But anyway, we'll leave that.
Wow.
We'll leave that
Technicality.
But yeah, so they've announced that.
Which I'm excited for. I love Blade.
Yes.
I can't pronounce his name.
And the fact that
Ali or something, is it? No.
Mahasara Ali. He was Cottonmouth in the first season of Luke Cage.
Yeah,
You mean the first half of the season?
Yeah.
But
he's
to
an
me,
Academy.
he's a fantastic actor.
He is.
Also, as Kevin Feige now says, that Netflix shit means nothing. I'm recasting that actor because I want that actor.
and I think he's a perfect cast. He's right at the age where Blade could have been around for a while in the shadow.
Yeah.
He's the perfect hero to go.
Absolutely.
Oh, where was Blade? Who cares? He was in the shadows killing vampires.
Yeah.
And
and also vampires existed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Is a coincidence that currently in the current run of Avengers, which is up to issue 12, Blade is in the team.
I love Blade. Blade's just a really
he's fantastic
character, and I'm glad that he's back.
Yes.
I'm very interested to see how they're going to do the backstory. Is it going to be like his mum was bitten while she was pregnant, or like what's going to be?
That's one of the stories that hasn't changed.
No, that's the backstory.
Yeah.
He's got vampire powers because his mother was.
Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be good to see Wesley Snipes as Whistler?
Oh, dude.
I'm happy with that.
Oh, dude, don't even go there.
Don't even go there.
I can't training him.
Oh.
And they just call him Whistler, and then they make claim to it. I've been through what you've been through, kid, and like take him to it all. And
I like Wesley Snipes. He's
tax fraud aside.
Tax fraud aside. I mean, let's be honest. Like again, it's a little.
Everyone's flawed.
It's a little bit of tax fraud.
And in Expendables 3, they even made fun of it because they busted him out of prison, and they said, "Oh, you're a hardcore vigilante. What are you in prison for? Tax fraud." They even took the piss out of himself. Because he's a good man.
I mean, it's tax fraud. It's not really like he didn't kill anyone.
No,
no.
Anyone that's not a vampire, and I'm fine with that.
It's a little bit of tax fraud.
Yeah.
I
hope he gets a little cameo.
Everyone thinks about doing tax fraud every year.
Oh, definitely.
It's just like.
And if the ATO is listening, would you not think about tax fraud every year?
I do. It's fine.
But no, I'd love to see him to get at least a little cameo, and I think they'll do that, providing that they can come to the table.
Yeah.
So.
Now let's talk about something else that's I think is interesting, which is basically that Marvel has to currently share their only current popular member of the roster, Peter Parker, with another company.
Yeah.
And with Amy Pascal, and based upon the interviews I've seen with Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal, they aren't friends.
No. And that was my biggest fear, because Tom Holland may be my favourite Spider-Man, and they
do you think they'll let him go?
What?
Like Spider-Man?
No.
Or will they buy him out?
No, but Sony will not sell.
They've tried.
Yeah, they've tried.
Many times.
Unlike the licensing deals where like Fox made licensing deals for them, Sony bought the characters for movie purposes outright. Yeah. It was an outright movie purchase.
They don't own a percentage. They actually own the rights to Spider-Man in media.
Yeah, correct.
In TV and movie. Yeah.
So that's why. No, you always have to have Sony in the picture. It's just going to be a very uncomfortable relationship, because essentially, he's the best Avenger they have right now, but he's also in like a divorce situation where like his parents are in two different cities, and Sony. But essentially, to fix this, don't put it past Disney buying Sony.
Well, I mean, that would literally be the only solution. There's no way that
there's no way Sony. There's no way Sony lets go of Spider-Man.
No.
What other characters does Sony own?
That's it.
Is it just Spider-Man?
Just Spider-Man.
No. All of the characters.
Oh, sorry. The Spider-Man universe.
All of the Spider-Man universe characters. Venom, Black
Green Goblin,
Cat,
Dr. Octopus, all that.
They own everything Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's why when they do a film, they have to go to Sony. May I please have a Spider-Man villain for my MCU?
Yeah.
And they go, you can have Vulture. Okay, that's fine.
Vulture was fantastic.
It wasn't proper Vulture, but it was.
But still, that's also like Kevin Feige. I can make anything good, bitches.
And that's it. You give us Vulture, okay? I'm going to cast Batman as Vulture, and he freaking. But anyway, there's no way.
Apparently, what's his name? Michael Keaton used to whisper to Tom Holland on the set. He used to go, Batman.
He did. That would be that.
Yeah, look, I really like the Spider-Man movie, and yes, they've turned him into miniature Iron Man,
but I don't care.
But I mean, in the comics, also he was miniature Iron Man. Like when he first got the Iron Spider-Man suit, when he went to the Avengers.
Just look at that famous event. I don't know, Civil War.
Yeah, and during in the comic run. He was trained how to fight by Captain America. Tony Stark helped him with his tech. Tony Stark gave him Iron Spider. This is all just comic stuff that they're doing on big screen. But people say, "Oh, I like that Peter Parker that struggles." Yes, he does struggle when he first starts, but we've never seen that Spider-Man because we've only seen him post Tony Stark getting involved. But then, I mean, he was still Spider-Man just with a shitty suit for a long period of time. It's just obviously that.
It's now just like that he had Tony Stark to guide him, and now he doesn't have that, so he's got to figure things out on his own.
Yeah, and you know. Yeah, and I just think it's funny that they gave this kid like glasses to destroy the universe. Here's access to Tony Stark's all military-grade software.
But I agree with you, Chris. The only way that Marvel are going to get Spider-Man back is if Disney buys Sony.
Yeah, and Sony won't sell. So
no, they won't. No. They're the stubborn. Like everyone else is like,
And I think at that point there would be some sort of talk within like the US government about being like, you know, at the moment there's a certain thing called an antitrust suit where basically like going one company cannot become a monopoly.
Yeah.
How they let the Fox deal through is beyond me.
Mochicho.
But I mean, the point is that. But the one thing I'm a little bit glad about with the deal is that there aren't. But there's gonna be less movies released per year. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're gonna let the divisions of Disney compete because you see Spider-Man released in like a few weeks after Lion King released. Yeah. They didn't go. Oh, we're gonna give Spider-Man 3 months on loan and then we'll release Lion King. Yeah. No, they said okay, we'll release this movie here. We'll release this movie here. Yes, they're making sure that no one else sees other movies but Disney with this.
They're still competing each other. They're competing against each other.
The internal divisions are still going. We're the best division.
Marvel versus Disney kind of thing.
Yeah. Basically, Marvel versus Disney is going to go head to head. And Marvel will stand on top.
Which is fine.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, but then Marvel's like, at the moment, how many billion-dollar franchises do you have in your stable? We've got, and it's funny. The only other studio that has multiple billion-dollar franchises is Warner Brothers, and what are they doing? What is Warner Brothers doing right now? They don't have any. They don't have any Potter films on the thing. There's no Lord of the Rings anymore.
Wonder Woman
there's no
84,
Hunger Games.
There's
like basically there's nothing for Warner Brothers to fight back.
They're probably sitting in a board meeting right now, still trying to figure it out.
They're sitting on a whiteboard with the words ideas written on it going.
Well, the only DC movie we've got coming at the moment, that's right, is we know there's going to be an Aquaman 2.
Oh, that's a given.
Is Wonder Woman 84 is the only thing I can think of, and obviously
Shazam 2 would only happen if Rock funds it, which he might.
But he's doing a Black Adam movie.
That's if.
I think now. Well, I mean, Rock's got good money. He might just say, "Look, I'll just chuck this much into it."
But he doesn't want to chuck all his money into it. No, he'll put a bit of it into it.
But I mean, like you compare Marvel. But look, Marvel have got the ability to throw in a hero that no one ever heard of. Well, aside from comic book nerds, Captain Marvel, and it'd make $1 billion. That. You know, it's that Marvel. It's that Marvel stamp, and Disney are going to give them that little bit of leeway.
But
and go, hey,
that movie made $1 billion because also there was lies in that movie.
Oh, of course there was. 100%.
As Kevin Feige said to us, you need to see this movie. It's important to watch this movie before Endgame, and we believed him. Yeah, because we're idiots. Yeah, but again, that trick works once.
Yeah.
That trick won't work again because it's a trick.
Yes.
And we've seen some movies do have a good first movie, then they do a sequel, the money's in there, like Turtles, for example. Shitty movie, but hugely financially successful. They made Turtles 2, people are going, fool me once.
Yeah.
And so Marvel has to be careful that they have to make good movies going forward. They can't, because saying, we're Marvel, we're going to survive is also how a lot of the other studios felt. So, that's, you know.
I thought, exactly. I bet you Fox thought the same way.
Fox thought, we'll put the X-Men logo on it. It's fine. Oh, no.
We'll just make an X. Doesn't matter if they're bad. We'll just make it.
I haven't seen the Dark Phoenix movie.
Neither have I.
And because I'm a sensible X-Men fan and will not watch trash. So
I will watch it when it comes out available.
I will
on
not.
Blu-ray.
I saw it.
I will not. Yeah, to me, that movie, that movie should have died a long time ago in fire.
Let's just say there's a lot of random beasts jumping over things.
Yeah,
like it was pointless parkour.
It was really.
What are you doing, space?
It was really.
Should it have been called the Dark Phoenix /parkour?
Yeah, because the beast just felt really useless in that movie. Like it was just.
Well, the movie looked useless. So again.
For the better part, it was. There were some great moments, like.
Yeah,
Magneto obviously was amazing.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Nightcrawler had a good moment, but he still just looks weird.
Let's hope in Feige we trust. But what about the other couple of TV shows that were announced? Loki. Well, we knew Loki'd been announced, but the information about Loki and how it's going to be Tom Hiddleston narrating.
Yeah, I'm not interested in. Honestly, I'm not a teenage girl, so Loki wasn't my favorite character of all the thing.
Or any girl, really.
Or any girl, really. I thought he was a fine villain for Avengers. The fact that they tried to make him more prominent in Thor 2, I think, was the reason why Thor 2 struggled. And I thought he was in it just enough in Ragnarok, which was barely there, to be acceptable for like the movie itself. But to me, it's I don't care. Like,
Well, now that he's actually not in it to begin with, he's just doing the narrating. They are casting a younger actor as Loki. I look. If it's going to be on Disney Plus and I've got Disney Plus, I'll watch it. I'm not going to not watch it. It's not like I'll be paying anything extra for it.
Absolutely,
I'm getting Disney Plus just for Star Wars.
I'm getting Disney Plus for Mandalorian because because of the production value is like $13+ million per episode.
And it's your last hope.
Oh, it's not.
Someone ring the pun alarm.
Yes, absolutely. I like. There's a new Star Wars movie coming out at the end of this year, and I don't care.
The last Skywalker.
I don't. I literally.
Oh no.
Apart from just mentioning it now, I barely have like it's not even on my radar.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, because they're going, I'm sorry, you've effed it.
They've just
So I'm like, it's coming out. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's going to be really funny. It might be really amazing, but like the box
People won't know.
And then they also announced the Hawkeye TV show with Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, and his daughter's going to be
Kate Bishop.
Finally, yes, I'm excited about that. Actually, that's
Kate
actually
Bishop
quite.
as also Hawkeye from. I think that's going to be good, and the fact that Jeremy Renner is in it.
No, because I think that one's more of a passing on the torch, where like then when they can do Avengers, they can bring in like new female Hawkeye in, which is cool because to me
it'd be good to see them do some team ups.
I like that because it's not just a random person who's like, oh, we want Hawkeye to be a female now. No, it's part of the story that's naturally grown.
She was part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah,
she was part of.
So to me, I'm like going.
Yep, I'm fine with that. And again, it's another Disney Plus show, so it's not going to really. Well, as we said, we're all going to have it for the Mandalorian anyway. So
because that show just looks spectacular.
Yeah,
like, I mean, when you're spending that much money per episode, it better look.
There are some movies that don't have that much. You know what I mean? But I think it's good that, as I said, they're not making us pay anything extra. We're going to be getting Disney Plus anyway. There's no, and we're going to get these shows. That, I mean, it might be just a moment where we sit down and go, look, let's watch a couple episodes of Hawkeye. It might be fantastic, or we might watch a couple episodes of Loki and go, you know what, this is just not it. But it's not going to put us out of pocket.
And it won't be as bad as say Punisher 2 was. The second season of Punisher on Netflix, where basically
I maintain
people have bullied.
It won't be as bad as the second half of the season 2.
There was an announcement about the guy who played Billy Russo too. He was going to. They were looking at him for another Marvel project, to believe it. I'm trying to
Jigsaw again and just
not as Jigsaw. Not as Jigsaw. It was a different. It was a different project. Ben Barnes. That's right. That's his name. They were looking at him for another Marvel project. He
looks like a villain to me.
He does.
So like a good villain would. I think he's good in a villain role.
But no, he's going to be in, and I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, I am looking on Google at the moment, but I did see an article this week saying that there was another Marvel project that he was going to be part of as a villain, and it actually looked and sounded quite
Howard the Duck.
So I will, I mean, it's got to be better than Punisher, to be honest with you.
To be honest, I'm very glad. I'm sad, but also glad that the Netflix Marvel is over.
Daredevil was
the only one.
I am too. I'm glad it's over.
The only one that I remotely liked was the Iron Fist. I didn't mind that.
Yeah.
That was
Iron Fist. I didn't mind Iron Fist.
Season 2 was excellent. So that's like season 2 was excellent. Was excellent. So I will say that it definitely was. And then what they did at the end of the thing when they showed off they showed what season 3 was going to be. It was amazing. And you're like, crap, okay, it's fine. They cancelled it. But again, I wasn't. I watched all of Luke Cage. It was okay.
Yeah.
Herschel Ali, whatever your name is, was Cottonmouth was fantastic. But the really bad thing about that thing was he stood out so much from the other actors. It was actually like a bad casting because he was so much better than everyone else in the scene, which is sometimes a bad thing when he's got this one actor who's just incredible and you're going, everyone else around you looks like toddlers. What was going on? What's going on with this scene? Because essentially I was rooting for him to win, not Luke Cage because I was like, yeah, look at him,
Yeah.
charisma, he's got it all.
Oh yeah.
And then they changed it to some female villain. I'm like, eh.
But apparently, I did also hear when I found out all the other Marvel news, Jessica Jones season 3, which is out at the moment, which I know not many people have interest in watching, actually does tie up a lot of Daredevil and Jessica Jones because they found out about the cancellation when they were in production.
Oh, so they polished it up.
Apparently, they were able to give Daredevil and Jessica Jones a decent and a little bit of Luke Cage.
Was Charlie Cox in season 3? Of Jessica
apparently
Jones?
so, yeah.
Oh.
So what I heard, this was on the This Week in Marvel podcast that they were talking about.
So look, I'm very happy it's all over. I'd
like to see those characters get a chance.
I like to see this character get a chance again, but done better.
Especially Daredevil.
Look, Daredevil was
Charlie Cox was amazing.
He was, yeah.
Look, they should just pull him into the MCU.
I hope so.
and that look, that Daredevil show was good. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but it's just.
I suppose if the other Marvel Netflix shows were as good as Daredevil, we'd have a little bit more invested in it.
Yeah.
And I suppose if we weren't let down as much as we were by Punisher season 2, I think we'd have a little bit more emotion when it comes to the cancellation. But
I will say, as Jamie pointed out, the first 3 or 4 episodes of Punisher of season 2 was fantastic.
yeah, it was 100%.
It was like that bar fight scene where he's like, was just like, I was going, this is the Punisher I love.
Yes.
And then they went, let's go bonkers. Yay!
But the whole where he's in the police station when he's arrested.
Yeah.
That was to me.
Oh yeah.
Like after that bit, that's when I started going down.
Yeah. And then apparently,
police station.
much like as I've realised, no one who actually I know that a lot of people point this out online is like you can tell that most people in Hollywood who write things with guns don't actually use guns themselves because they don't understand
how guns work,
which is basically you can't survive a shotgun.
Here we go again. The one nitpick that Chris keeps going back to.
But also you also notice a lot of times with the characters with Marvel shows they have their fingers on the trigger, which is like super poor trigger discipline. Like that's not what you on the outside, and then and also they're walking around with the guns pointing at the people they're trying to shoot at, and as people train in like the army and military, you always have the gun pointing downwards. You never actually raise it up unless you're actually willing to actually shoot someone.
Yeah.
That's just piss poor, piss poor gun.
And the thing is with trigger discipline too is the only reason on that note, Chris, the only reason you have your gun raised is if you are in a firefight situation.
If you're actually in the middle of a firefight,
you are performing a breach and clear on a building. You have to maintain your weapon.
Welcome to We Love Guns on Amigos.
America. But I mean, the point is, in all this race, you walk around the guns like this, someone going, stop it.
But I think our biggest hatred of that show was they made Jigsaw a little bitch, to be honest with you.
Don't even go.
I just forgot about it. It's just like, we're supposed to be
I was okay with the scars. I could deal with that, but just don't.
No,
but to me,
the scars was the biggest thing. Let's give him thousands and thousands of surgeries to make him look perfect. Why? He's a death row inmate.
I would have been happy if they left that mask
good
off.
enough, so you can execute him. Why would a state hospital, pay millions of dollars to fix his face? No, America has the worst public health system in the universe. No, honestly, the fact that his nose is still attached is a miracle.
If you rewatch that last scene in Punisher season 1 where Frank Castle is ramming his head through that glass over and over again. When I saw that, I had hope for Jigsaw, and then
rubbing it down.
But the thing is, I would for the scars thing, he would have been better off leaving that mask on that he had.
I would like having the mask off, and if you actually didn't want to have all the makeup on, have a scene where he literally lifts it up and he offs and you see the back of the head, and you see someone look at the mask and just like vomit,
or he just
you just see him lift it, and you only see a little bit, and you see it's just sheer terror.
I mean that would be to me much.
Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's like.
But even that aside, to him die without much of a fight at all, that's not Jigsaw.
But see, the thing is too, there on that note, is that Jigsaw has always been like a gun-toting advocate.
Balls deep.
He is an absolute. He's the pinstripe gangster
I'm going to die with my guns in my hand.
He is a man of war.
Yeah.
But in this show, he was just a PTSD wanker.
He dies like a coward.
He dies on his knees. Like
the real Jigsaw would have died his last bit of effort would have been to fire another bullet to kill someone else because that's who Jigsaw.
Or his last effort would have been to blow himself up and blow up everyone with him. Like
actually, that's good.
He was just a coward and a
again, that move.
Horrible.
That's why that show made it to 2 seasons, because it was shit.
Yep. Season 1 was great.
Season 1's fantastic.
Yeah.
No,
Season 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah, let's say 1.5.
They didn't even bring back the penny for a dime thing.
No.
They not once did he say that. One step, 2 step or something.
Well, he did that was Daredevil season 2 when they brought that in, and the Punisher was in
but
that.
no, that wasn't in season 2 at all. It just disappeared.
I'm happy to go with 3 seasons of Daredevil, 1.5 seasons of Punisher. I'm with Chris. I liked Iron Fist.
Yep.
I did like. I will say I liked season 1 of Luke Cage mainly because the music and the atmosphere took me back to a time where I used to listen to that music, and I enjoyed season 1. Season 2, not so much.
Okay.
Defenders was okay.
I never really liked Luke Cage as a character. Like. I don't know. He was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just this big swaggery dude. I was like, no. Cool. He's got bullet skin. That's just me though. Like I enjoyed it, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a cool
concept,
like, but just not. I mean, he's no Blade. Let's be honest.
No.
But
that's the thing. Like we've grown up with Blade. You know,
he's no Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah. Wesley, come
with that roundhouse kick.
Oh yeah.
And that's
take a man's head off
how cool was just like
throwing the thing up. Throwing the blood or the UV up and doing that spin around kick right in the head.
He's like the sword, like nice sword.
Yeah. Off goes the head. Yeah. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I want to watch Blade tonight, man. Seriously.
Oh, that's so sick.
Chris has still got my collection. He's had it.
And then my favourite line is just like I think it was in 3, and it's just like like he's getting stared down by Dominic Purcell. I can't remember what the name. He's an ancient vampire. And he's like, Blade, I hope you're ready to die. And Blade, Wesley Snipes like, I was born ready, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? That was it. Oh, Blade.
Again, that's why Blade is the superior hero, and that's why everyone like. But also why.
And he has the fan base. That's obviously why they brought him back.
And also, the crowd was excited because Mahershala Ali is cool, but it was because they said Blade.
Yes!
Come on, everyone loves the Daywalker.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, he's a vampire who can walk in the sun.
Now, to make my life perfect, all that needs to happen now is Craven coming through as the Spider-Man villain.
I'm pretty sure that's going to happen because the director said he wants it. And
So Craven's villain.
Hunt. Yes.
Blade coming through, Blade into the universe.
Yes.
And then Punisher back into the universe hunting the heroes. This is what I want.
Oh, yes. That'd be cool. I think there's a series.
There's a comic
it's awesome. Marvel Universe.
And he kills them all.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. But,
it's in the vein of those Deadpool kills in the Marvel Universe. That was great.
Yeah.
No, Craven is a big one for me. I love...
But he's got to have the accent.
Mr. Sergei Kravinoff, he needs to speak like that. You know, he
needs to wear a lion's mane. And
don't get another American actor, please. Just get, give me a... Or somebody can do a good Russian, that kind of... Yeah, Craven, please. Craven's Last Hunt, is one of my favourite arcs in Spider-Man universe. So please.
And I know I was only on the cartoon, but I do want Mutant Spider as well. I do like.
Come back with Mutant Spider.
Again, this is the thing I want.
He wants to see Tom Holland grow extra limbs and turn into a mutated spider.
Yeah. Because no one's thought
multiverses.
About. No one's said they could do it in the Doctor Strange movie.
Because no one's really thought about like he was like that. See, to me that makes more sense. He was bitten by a spider.
Yeah,
that gave him powers. Yeah. Why would it not then alterly genetically
to be honest with you, you've probably got more chance of seeing that in the Spider-Verse sequel.
But from memory, in the cartoon, he goes and gets help from the X-Men.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
But he goes to Beast, I think.
Yeah. And they take out the gene that mutates him, but it leaves him with his powers.
Yeah. I'm happy with Phase 4. I'm glad it's smaller and not as in your face as the other phase, because I think as Feige said, no more Avengers until we've got the X-Men, and we all know you and I know what that means, and I hope that it's going to lead to an Avengers versus X-Men movie.
That is if that's not on Kevin Feige's whiteboard of
down the track,
things,
I'm happy with
like down in phase 7.
7 or 8.
Yeah, where he's got on the big board with circles saying X-Men versus Avengers.
Well,
if he doesn't have that there,
And I've recently
What
reread
team
that.
of Avengers are we going to
who
have?
cares? It'll be X-Men versus Avengers.
But that's the thing. I
That's the
recently
whole
went back
thing.
and
The whole
reread
thing in
that.
X-Men versus Avengers are you're not meant to root for the Avengers.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I recently went back and
Put
reread
Captain
that.
Marvel in that shit.
Yeah.
Because it's all about like going, oh, this mutant's too powerful, we're just gonna murder her.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
then X-Men are
It
going,
was
oh, I'm
basically
sorry,
like,
fucking
the Avengers.
Oh, that's
Something got
amazing.
built up. There was an event, and the Avengers are just like, "Wow, these X-Men are really powerful. We should try and control them." And then Cyclops is like, "Fuck you," and, which is Cyclops.
Yeah,
That's him.
yeah.
And you know, and then that's it. And then like,
So they're at war.
We're at war.
So
And then-
Avengers are the bad guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
So it's like how Tony Stark was the bad guy in Civil War.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is, I mean,
That's right. Tony Stark was the bad guy
I know.
in Civil War.
Everyone knows that though. People realize that.
Remember when it came out and it was like, whose side are you on?
He was also the bad guy in the comics as well. So
He was always the bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why everyone thought he was the bad guy. And also, even in the Endgame snap, he was also the bad guy.
yeah, because he asked for his daughter to live as well.
Yeah, so basically, people live through 5 years of hell, and rather than fix that, he was selfish.
He wanted to keep
Yeah.
his daughter.
And look, I understand that not everyone has the fortitude to like erase a human, but as a hero, that's what you're meant to be. You're meant to do. Like, and so like everyone, like people have like forgotten. Like, oh yeah, he brought everyone back. Yes, but during that first year, everyone snaps. How much crime and rape and murder do you think happened?
Oh, yeah.
And you can't tell me
Until the government
yeah.
got organised again, how much actual hell do you think people lived through those
That
5
is-
years?
That'd be a good
That is
movie.
a brilliant point, Chris. Like, the fact
Why not
that,
make
like,
a show about
what
what
did these
happened?
Avengers do in that 5 years?
Yeah,
Just
there's
moping
a
around.
reason why Ronan, so Clint Barton became Ronan, was to find criminals and not bring them to justice.
To kill them.
Was to kill them so they
Yeah.
wouldn't do more crime. There's a reason why he was doing
Yeah.
that. Wasn't yes, he agreed from his family, but also he realized there's no crime, there's no justice to bring them to.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill them.
Yeah.
So
And you can't tell me if Steve Rogers wasn't in Iron Man position and he had a daughter. Steve would have
he
gone.
would
I'm
no.
sorry, but,
no. Steve would have blinked, would have gone, would have done it properly.
but then
Steve.
Steve was that good that he would have found a wife and had that daughter eventually anyway. But yeah,
I mean, the
exactly.
point is, Steve would have done the right thing.
Yeah.
Iron Man didn't. Iron Man selfish.
And you're right. Look at Hawkeye would not have to have become Ronan
If the government was
everything
there,
was
yeah.
peachy and cream for that.
It wasn't.
5 years.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you take law away from society, and society would have broken
Well, no,
down.
you just take away half of society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's half
Yeah.
of law enforcement. That's
Yeah.
half
Yeah, it's
of
not only
everything.
half the criminals, it's half the law
So,
enforcement.
like,
and what if it's the good half of the criminals?
I know.
What if it's the bank robbers and the
Yeah, but, like,
pickpockets
that's
and you've
the
left
thing.
the murderers and the rapists and
Yeah.
the, you know?
But
Yeah.
like we don't. Well, I mean, there's no possible way to know that. But you've still taken away half of society.
Yeah.
Now the Endgame movie kind of put a gloss on that, and it's like, oh yeah, it just means the streets are a bit quieter, and no, there
There's
would be
more room to rebel.
It would basically it'd be like Mad Max out there being like, wow!
Yeah,
And that's a movie and TV show I'd like to see. Because you
Like,
can't tell me
far
that
out.
new heroes and new villains didn't come when.
Actually, that would be a good go for a villain. That would actually be a good origin story for any future villains for Marvel, because they can say you weren't there for those 5 years when it was just anarchy and
Yep.
death on the streets. Like,
You weren't
Avengers
there.
weren't there.
Oh,
Like,
you could
hiding
do
in
it
your
even
base.
better. I mean,
Like-
if Marvel wanted a TV show for Netflix, just call it
Yeah.
Marvel
The blip.
Year One.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And literally just like
anarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But it could only go for 5 seasons.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's what you need.
Or it could be like MASH and go for longer than longer than the war. Longer than
Under
the
the
war.
war itself. No, I'd be down for
But
that.
again, like,
Oh, see, raw. That's,
So I think
to sum up, Iron Man selfish.
Yeah,
We think,
yeah.
so. To sum up, what's your number one pick that you're looking forward to coming out of SDCC, Chris?
It's a toss up between Eternals and Shang-Chi, probably Shang-Chi.
Mike?
oh, I don't know.
Well, you were saying Thor, weren't you? You were excited about Thor?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had a complete turnaround with Thor, so I'm pumped for Thor, but I'm also pumped for the Shang movie,
Shang-Chi?
Yeah,
Master of
Shang-Chi.
Kung Fu?
And I'm also pumped for Blade.
Yep. Oh, of course.
And yeah.
What about you, Jamie?
Doctor Strange, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm going to say Doctor Strange. But also me personally, I'm from the TV universe. I'm looking forward to What If, because those were the early comics I used to read. You know, I used to love them because it's just like, what if Spider-Man didn't get bitten by the spider and someone else did? What if, you know? And they've recently done it. Like, what if Peter Parker became the Punisher, and you know, all these kind of things. But
Peter Parker
definitely-
Punisher.
Yeah. There you
Peter
go.
Parker Punisher.
But no, Doctor Strange.
Parker Punisher.
Doctor Strange is definitely a big one.
How many perps can Peter Parker punish if Peter Parker could punish perps?
Nice.
There you go.
But I think we're all looking forward to pretty much everything. But it's, I'm
like Jamie's original opinion of going, the MCU was dead. I'm going to selectively watch some
That
of
should
the
be the
films.
title of this episode of the podcast. The Marvel MCU is
The
dead.
Marvel MCU.
I didn't say it was dead because
It's
I say it would take a lot to make me watch it.
So basically, it takes one Comic Con.
I'm still selecting.
I'm just selecting a lot more movies.
I'm still selecting. It's just that all the ones they've showed me I want to watch.
At least you're admitting it.
Marvel Cinematic Universe is dead. Buy some stock in Avatar.
You know what? Kevin Feige's listening to this episode and he goes, I've reached the one person I needed to reach, Jamie Bryan, and he's now watching.
Hey, Kevin Feige, try and make me watch Captain Marvel, whatever 2, the second one.
That also
Won't happen.
Also, they did announce one.
I know how they do it. It's called Captain Marvel and Wolverine.
No.
With
Captain Marvel and the Ninja Turtles.
With Hugh Jackman.
I'd watch it on DVD.
Okay.
Or I would wait.
I call
last screening.
utter bullshit. If there was a movie called Captain Marvel Wolverine with Hugh Jackman, you'd be there opening
And that'd be in the title. It'd be called With Hugh Jackman. That's the tagline.
Don't BS us, Jamie. You'd be there in day one going, whee!
Filmed in Richmond too. There you go. So you can actually be there for
This
it.
is what would happen.
Yeah.
I would do what Chris does and read a leaked script, find out which parts Captain Marvel is on screen, and which parts Hugh Jackman's on screen, and I'll only be in the cinema for the moments that Hugh Jackman's on screen.
Wow.
What if they're together on screen and kissing?
I would be in it. No, then I wouldn't watch it at all.
Yeah, only Jamie gets to kiss Hugh Jackman.
No, that's the title of the episode today. Only Jamie gets to kiss Hugh Jackman.
It's pretty funny that I'm the one that actually uploads.
I know, but I was going to say should. But
The most important thing is, how do you feel about the Avatar sequel?
no, look, they also did at SDCC said there's no date, but they have announced there is a Black Panther sequel, there is a Captain Marvel sequel. They just haven't announced a date yet.
Yeah, because obviously it's all about how much money. Like it's all about like the money of like
if they need an injection.
no, if they need an injection, Black Panther's the injection.
Yeah.
They need to find out where they're going to put Captain Marvel in to not screw up like the universe. They need to figure out the spots. Yeah. No, they put her in the safest spot they're going to put her in just before
Endgame, because people can.
But that slot's not there all the time. You need to Black Panther stands on its own. That's fine.
Look, I'm happy to watch a Black Panther.
Oh, no,
sequel. I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
That had a villain with a nuance, and
that was a fun movie.
That was a good movie.
Michael B. Jordan was a great Killmonger. I loved it.
And some people complain there was just two villains fighting each other with the two heroes fighting each other with the same powers. I mean, that's
No, it's not.
Marvel movies.
Not at all.
That's
Yeah, well, and you're right. What about Iron Man?
Ant-Man. It's all about the villain has a slightly better
Whiplash
suit.
in Iron Man 2, essentially.
Yeah.
With Stark technology.
If it's not the same suit, it's a scientist.
Yes, scientists in the same suit.
Sometimes it's like Ant-Man. It's the same suit, scientist, better suit, and it's all like, my suit's better. Like, yeah, but I got the heart of a hero.
Yeah.
And that's the key
That's
of
how
Marvel.
he
And
wins.
that's how you win in the Marvel universe.
Yes.
But look, Black Panther holds up. I've watched it a couple of times since I've
But I
seen
want them to bring back more of the mythology.
Yes.
Some of the more like. The whole Ant-Man team is technically
I don't
possessed
like
and they have to
that
fight the demons.
That's what I hate.
how
That's the
they
only
made.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, I don't like that they made though that Wakanda was because in the comics and stuff, Wakanda's like a tribe that just have super crystal technology. They don't know what it is. They just worship it. They
Vibranium, yeah.
Whereas in this, they're all like, yeah, Twitter and Wakanda, yeah, we're separated from the rest of the world, but we got Twitter and stuff. And we got our culture.
We're separated from the rest of the world, but we still have 20th century European architecture.
No, you're right. In the comics, they use vibranium to form this advanced technology civilization, and no one knows about it until.
But they're tribal though.
Yes, they are. Of course.
And there's
tribal.
flipping demons. The one thing that stands out from the comic that I read, it was this guy and a demon waiting to see some dude, like in a waiting room. It's like a full demon. And this guy's going, who are you here to see?
I want them to bring back more of the spooky element to it. But like I said, I really liked the movie, but I would like to see them like a good sequel builds on the ideas of the original, and that's all I wanted to do is basically like, so let's say they weren't sure to go balls out the wall deep with the spiritual world, but then the movie was successful. Now you can go balls deep with the spiritual world.
Well, they're doing Doctor Strange, like
completely balls deep. They've gone completely.
Yeah, and he's all mystic realm, warlock, all that stuff. So if that works well, then it can work well with Black Panther.
Oh, and then they bring in the X-Men and we get a Doctor Strange magic movie. That would be good.
Oh, man.
Correction!
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about magic because that's years away.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, essentially, if, like, again,
same kind
if
of
the original X-Men team that they're going to have on screen doesn't have a decent Colossus, I'm going to kill everyone in the universe.
Yeah, they need Colossus. Yeah, Colossus.
And I like but not just a big strong
like
Russian man.
Russian.
It's like I'm big strong Russian man who's only tapped into like 10% of my actual power because I'm afraid. That's the Colossus we need.
And then 5 movies down the track, they give him the Satori gem and he becomes Juggernaut Colossus.
Yeah, and then actually taps into the real power that he holds, which is basically balls out wall.
I didn't know that.
You get there. Juggernaut's not worthy of the Satorak or however you say power, so they
that's
get
right, because he's got an
gem.
curse.
Now, while we're talking about X-Men, I got this thing recently because I got my tax back and I thought, I'm going to buy it. There's an ad that kept popping up on Facebook and it was like...
Penis enlarging pills?
Yes, penis enlarging pills. Right now, my penis is the mic. No, it's like an emulator console thing with 36,000 games on it.
Oh, wow.
And I've been going through all the X-Men games.
Oh, did you get it? Did you?
Yeah, I got it.
Is it good?
It's amazing. But some of them won't work because you need a memory card. Like it's got everything, every game from Atari, all the way up to PS1.
Oh wow!
So it's got all of them. But there's all these old X-Men games, and there was one.
The X-Men arcade game.
But every X-Men has a different level. Like, so if you want to play as one character, you don't play on the same level. You play on a different level. But I think there's 6 X-Men, and there's Cyclops, Beast, Psylocke, Gambit, Wolverine.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I think that's
fine.
I'm alright.
Nice.
Also, Colossus in there. I'm happy with the first team.
There was no Colossus.
No.
See, we need...
He hasn't been around for quite... I mean, he wasn't in the original team, but he's been around for quite a while.
I just don't like the X-Men Colossus. Like the American frat boy.
No. He needs to be...
I liked him more in Deadpool. The Deadpool was quite good. But it was also like it was a small piece of what the Colossus is. But it was better than the original... Better than the other one. Yeah. But you can go better with that. You can go even more. You can go more. I love Colossus. He's one of my favourite of all the X-Men.
Definitely. And in the comics, he goes back to Russia and works with the Russian mafia to make money for his family, and they just utilize, and then Professor Xavier comes back and goes, "We need you," and he gives all that up and kills Russian mafia.
I mean, to be honest, it'd be a risky thing, but they should make him the Central X-Men. Risky call.
Maybe if they wanted to do that.
I think he's got the back. I think he's got the. He's got the
family aspects. He's got giant dude that turns himself into metals, that could turn himself into different kinds of metal.
Really?
There's a whole bunch of powers he has, but he doesn't use because he's also like a little scared of
Yeah.
Well, there's a movie right there.
Yeah.
It's about him facing his fear.
I don't think he could carry his own movie, but I think he could definitely be part of the core team.
So you think he's like Hulk?
Sorry?
He's like Hulk. Like he works as part of a team, but he's
quite intelligent, and his morals are in the right place. Everything he does is for his family.
Yeah,
and you see that when he brings magic.
He tries not to kill people.
Yeah, he tries. He's willing to. But
he's willing to give it a good college try not to kill people.
Comics, when Magic does get her powers, and because she's a lot younger than he is, and her X-Gen activates, he guides her through the process. And it's good because she's freaked out. She's got all these powers that she doesn't know what to do.
And we'll see Magic take the screen in that Dumb Mutants movie that this will release.
New Mutants, Although, I kind of want them to can that.
Disney owns it, so it's be another tax write-off.
I don't want them to release that one. But
because then it's part of the...
Would it still be under Fox, though?
Yeah, it's under the Fox brand, but
if it flops, then they don't care.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm not excited about that movie.
But I want Magic on the screen, and they're gonna, and she's in it, but it's gonna be shit, and I know it.
But see, that one.
Then don't watch it.
stopped and started so many times. I just don't know about it. But
Oh well. There it is.
I think
Anything else from San Diego Comic Con?
not that I could. I mean, the main thing was everyone was excited about was the big Marvel Phase 4 announcement. There wasn't really much. DC wasn't really there as a presence.
Well, they dropped a new Watchmen trailer.
Yeah, which was good. That looks good.
DC was obviously afraid to turn up.
Oh, definitely.
And rightly so.
Yeah.
They had their own thing in the park.
No, their big thing was, look at this Wonder Woman poster we have
Yeah.
of our one movie.
That's it.
And I was like, hey, great poster. Not denying that. No denying that. I mean,
And then CW. With everyone coming back. It intrigues me though. Like Brandon Roos putting back on the cape, Tom Welling coming back.
But that's the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, it is about all the different infinite. Like Brandon Rouse playing the Ruth or however you say it, he's playing the Kingdom Come Superman. Burt Ward from the '66 Batman is coming back as Robin. That's what it's about. It's Crisis on Infinite Earth. It's multiverse.
Chris is shaking his head because he's given up on it ages ago.
I gave up on that whole CW nonsense.
Look, I'm watching it because it's going to be the end of Arrow. It's the end of Stephen Amell. And that's why I watch it. I haven't watched any of this year's Flash or Arrow at all.
Like I gave up on Flash finally, and I'm sticking out with that. You give up on things way too easily, Chris. I'm sticking out the Arrow because there's only 10 episodes left.
Yeah, no, that's it. And I found something else from SDCC. It's not a major thing. Marvel have announced on Hulu a Ghost Rider TV show with Robbie Rodriguez, the guy who plays.
But that's Marvel TV, not connected to Marvel movies.
Yes,
so
exactly. It's not connected. It is Marvel TV.
Therefore, doesn't have no value.
Therefore, has no value.
It doesn't have the Kevin Feige ticket.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
It does.
It's like Runaways.
It absolutely does not have the Kevin Feige ticket of approval.
It's like Runaways, because Runaways is on Hulu as well, which is not a bad show.
But again, that does not have the Kevin Feige.
And we here at Nerd Bigos are contractually obliged to only
in Feige we trust.
Again,
and
my one.
Hello, Don the Feige.
My one goal of Feige, and my one dream was tomorrow I wake up and it says Feige has decided to take over Lucas instead for a new challenge, and then I would be like, yes, thank you, Feige.
Chris won't be in work today. He's got a raging boner.
Yeah.
And,
but I mean, I know that is a pipe dream, and I know that Star Wars.
Well,
is dead.
I mean, it's closer than it was 5 years ago.
Star Wars is dead. I have to accept it.
Star Wars is dead.
Mandalorian.
I can't wait till the Mandalorian comes out. But StarArs is dead, but I'm watching Mandalorian.
Mandalorian is because I'm going to
Here comes the technicality.
I'm going to have Disney Plus anyway. It's a show.
So what could save Star Wars, Chris? What could save the last?
I thought that you, Chris, said that you were getting Disney Plus only because of the Mandalorian.
See, it's a catch-22 now, isn't it? It's a horrible look. But also, I'm actually, to be honest, they've announced a Mighty Ducks TV show. That's kind of
yes. Quack! Give me the Mighty Ducks. Those movies quack.
I would buy Disney Plus for the Mighty Ducks TV show.
I'm buying.
Remember when they brought out that cartoon in the 90s?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Where it was actual
ducks. Actual from outer space. It was awesome. It was amazing. I had all the toys actually.
I had the car.
Yeah.
The attack vehicle they had.
I'm sure it actually made
that's
sense.
what hockey players have.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Hockey players have attack vehicles.
Does it make as much sense as Barker Mice from Mars?
No, it was like a race of ducks that play hockey as their sport. They come down to Earth and because they're doing something like war, they go, oh, let's go play some hockey here. And then out of the luck coach puts them on the team, and they constantly hate playing on Earth because the rules are so uncivilized because you can hit people and all this kind of weird stuff that they're not used to in their own duck version of hockey.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah.
Duck culture.
Yeah.
This is not the Mighty Ducks you're talking about for Disney Plus, though.
No.
I was like,
Oh,
okay, I'll have to check
When
it
they were
out.
playing actual ducks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, actually, they actually were ducks. It was honestly, and I had all the toys. Like,
I did too.
yeah, it was. I loved it.
But I look, Disney Plus is looking
Now I
better
feel
and
like I want to
better
bring
and
something
better.
up that's probably not safe to talk about on.
All right, let's talk about ducks penises.
Oh no! My wife for life, you guys.
We won't tell you, but listeners, if you Google duck's penis with a filter off.
Okay, that's the title of the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do not do. As
It is amazing.
Just said out of his face.
Please
do not.
I'm going to.
So someone asked me a question. How could they save
Oh, yeah.
How can they save Star Wars? Easy. Rey Skywalker. Done. All right.
Which is totally possible because JJ said that we're actually revealing her
Yeah, but
lineage in.
Yeah, but it's going to be dumb, and so I'm ignoring it. But again, I'm a very simple man of my Star Wars. There's a few things I want that Star Wars is that people seem to forget. Based upon how Solo movie did at the cinema, Star Wars isn't about bounty hunters and just you call something Star Wars. Star Wars is about the mysticism behind the Force, light versus dark, and Skywalkers. It's a very simple concept.
Yeah.
Keep to this concept. Don't need to move from the concept. The concept is fine.
What's that old saying? If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
Yep.
Again,
And also before
That doesn't go for reboots
yeah.
because they made the Lion King exactly the same.
yeah, okay,
Almost
fair point.
word for word.
Yeah.
I'll keep
it.
it.
Yeah.
And that no.
And just one other note: if you have Amazon Prime, please watch The Boys.
Yeah, we want a second season.
It is fantastic. 5 episodes in, and I am loving it. So please check it out. My favourite comic.
Meanwhile, I've watched Doom Patrol starting to.
Doom Patrol.
That's how far back.
Are you enjoying Doom Patrol?
Yeah, I am.
It's
I love
really
Brent
good.
Brent Fraser's amazing.
Yeah,
And
he is. Isn't
Alan
he?
Tudyk is
Yeah,
amazing.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. Now your conversation yesterday makes sense.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
You know who Alan Tudyk is? Steve the Pirate
Yeah.
from Dodgeball.
Yes, and he was also
Wash
in
from
Serenity and
Serenity.
Firefly.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, check out The Boys. It is amazing, amazing. It's R-rated, so it's not for everyone. But
Yeah.
That's for everyone. That's for everyone.
As per Chris's rating system, everyone that can walk can watch it.
it's a great show. Michael attested to that. As well.
Oh, yes.
No spoilers yet, but it is amazing.
Again, like I said, you guys thought Hellboy was an R. I was like, it's an MA movie, probably tops. Like,
I'd love to see you as a judge.
I'm gonna go with the best guys.
It'd be hilarious.
What do you think it'd be like if Chris was on the
it was-
classification board?
It was statutory rape.
No,
so you
no,
only get
no,
3
look,
years.
no, look, if Chris was on the board of classification, it would be very much like what they did with Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. They didn't watch it.
So, Chris.
They went, oh, it's a Batman movie, PG.
Oh, no. Chris will make the new Star Wars movies R-rated so no one can see them. X-rated so no
So,
one can
Chris,
see
we
them.
brought you into the office today. You recently did a review of Gorefest 9 Lord of the Gore, and you rated it PG. We need to talk about this rating system.
You're right. I thought E at first, and then I blinked, and I was like, eh. But no, my main thing with ratings and classifications is one. Let's be honest, it's actually run by the industry itself, so it's actually not very good. Like, because that's
Should be a third party.
yeah, exactly. But that's beside the point. They are meant to be guidelines, which is fine. So basically, parents can make informed decisions on movies, which
Yes.
again, I that's fine with. But what we have a weird society where it's like going, okay, so what's in the movie? So this one's got blazing guns and someone like has a samurai sword that kills and sucks the souls out of people. Yeah, that's an M. This one shows boobs. Oh my god, boobs! That's a hard R. It's like.
Well, that's the same thing. We're showing decapitated heads and everything, but someone drops a C-bomb and it's an R-rated.
Exactly. I'm going,
Yeah.
let's come on.
That's the weirdest thing for me about Walking Dead. I don't watch it anymore, don't worry.
Good.
That it's you got all this gore, like and graphic violence, and they never drop a swear word
No.
at all.
Because America,
You see, he can smash two people's heads in.
because America is that this weird country where they go violence. It's fine, but if you show some ankle or boob, that's a whole new.
Well, I mean, Mike and I can attest.
And yet the
from-
country also has the largest porn industry in the universe. So
Well, Mike and I can attest from The Boys. They use the C word like it's going out of fashion. on that show.
because they're allowed to, so they don't know how to moderate that.
But again, it is the comic. It's worse in the comics, But and that's not what makes the show good. But that is why it's rated R, not from the
it's
violence,
R,
not from the sexual stuff. It's because they use the word.
Yeah,
word.
See, that's why I said I should be in charge of the rating boards, and I'll actually make a proper rating system that's not stupid like the current one. And yes, I would rate Star Star Wars ridiculously high until they fix it. And
X-rated.
Yeah, on purpose.
X-rated.
Let's just be
Last
honest. Like,
Skywalker X.
the parents, when it comes to comic book stuff, they don't look at the ratings. They go, "Oh, it's a comic book."
Let's actually, exactly.
Oh, it's comic book kids.
That's fine.
Oh, Tellboy, my 3-year-old can go and see it.
Oh, look, it's comic.
Remember, and my theory is if the kid can distinguish between what's real and what's fake, it's fine.
Yeah, but you got to know that your kid can.
Yeah, so obviously that's the parents' job to then talk to the kid to see if they could distinguish the reality. Like my parents did that when I was young.
Yeah, but with us, it was very puppety and like, oh, that's fake.
No, but like when I was a kid, I watched Universal Soldier and Bloodsport.
I didn't say.
Universal
Soldier was awesome.
He actually
Universal was freaking amazing.
managed his own blood in his backyard.
Yeah, but my parents understood that I could distinguish between that's fake. I wouldn't walk around the street shooting people. I'm not a crazy person. Okay, that's
There are people out there that are.
Yeah, but that's why the parent needs to have that conversation to say what kind of level crazy is my kid.
The thing is too, I remember the very first M movie I watched was when I was 12. I watched an M15 plus movie, it was Under Siege, Steven Seagal.
Oh yeah.
Now I watched that. Now that was my first ever M movie I watched, but my mum watched it with me because I was underage, and so she said, "Okay."
I reckon that was M because the lady that jumped out of the car, out of the cake.
Although in the Universal Soldier movie, they did have where John McClane
that was MA though.
kicked the guy onto the onto what was it the shredder,
yeah,
and then just press the button.
I remember
that was good in the 90s.
That was awesome. Actually, I really like that movie Universal Soldier so much. It's one of my favorite movies.
I've still got it.
Like it's such a cool concept and like. Oh my goodness! Anyway, this is not the Universal Soldier podcast. Not
that there's anything wrong with that because that's a great movie.
Public service now.
No, because it's awesome. Soldiers that could basically throw them in ice and they heal up, and then you wipe their memory, and then essentially they all catch on fire, and that's their weakness. It's awesome.
Well, I think the first M movie I saw was the first Batman movie because that was rated M.
Batman.
The Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson one was rated M. So
Batman.
I was 9 at the time.
What was Jurassic Park? I saw that in the movie.
It was Pete and PG.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
The
PG.
second one was higher rated though, wasn't it?
No.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
They were both PG.
Were they? Okay.
The third one was M.
I remember seeing that movie.
But I'm excited. I've renewed my subscription to Amazon Prime because of the boys and all the Jurassic Park movies are on there. The Street Fighter movies.
You see,
on
for
there.
me, I have Amazon Prime because the shipping pays for itself for me. The free shipping from Amazon pays for itself.
They're all poor people. I buy my DVDs.
Well, it's only $6.99. It's $6.99 a month.
And basically, I can ship things from the US for nothing. And I'm like,
If you're signed up to Amazon Prime,
you can ship from Amazon for free.
Yeah. That's what Prime is.
And so I'm saying, you're paying for the shipping alone.
It covers your entire cost. If you've got a Kindle, you also get Kindle Unlimited, which is kind of like Netflix.
Does that mean I get shit?
Yes!
Michael's eyes just lit up. He's like,
So basically, anything over $50 that you buy from America is free shipping because you're a Prime member.
As well as the Kindle Unlimited for Netflix for books, you know?
Again, so the point is, you're wasting money if you don't have Prime.
And for $6.99,
for $6.99 a month,
shows on there.
it's got
a lot of shows on there too, you know. So it's worth it.
The shows are incredible, like Omens.
Yes. You got Nosferatu. You got
American Gods, Omens. You got all these incredible shows, and also really dumb ones as well. And then a whole bunch of 80s fantasy movies and stuff. I've been watching lately, B-grade movies.
And good anime as well.
Huh?
Good anime as well.
Yeah, anime catalog. Every year they buy an anime that everyone wants to watch, and they go, "Hey, it's on Prime."
So that's it. And
so last year they bought Dora, which is amazing. And then this one they bought Vinland. You got Vinland? Yeah. It's on Amazon.
Well, we're only getting here for a small seat. But no, it's got heaps of old movies. I saw The Net with Sandra Bullock. Yeah. I mean, and the old Street Fighter movie and everything. Just by going through the first screen, I think it's for you.
That's what's actually it's actually got really, really good value to have Prime.
We're not sponsored by Prime.
No.
If you want to jump on,
Jeff Bezos doesn't need sponsorship. He's got enough money.
What about the shows coming up? Lord of the Rings,
Wheel of Time. They've grabbed the two biggest names in fantasy on their platform.
I'm stroking my beard, and I'm now interested in Prime.
The good thing is you need to get better internet.
You need good internet.
Actually, no, it has a download function.
It does too. Yes.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes, Prime does download to device.
So you can download episodes and then watch them and whatever. Then
And look.
Also, Amazon.
What I like about
it has the tick.
Yes, the chick is
And
amazing.
it's actually really good. Like
The
it's,
new one, yeah. Oh, that's
Oh.
so. It's darker too.
It's
really
it's super dark. It's awesome.
And
I've been seeing the tick on there, but I've never
it's
watched
good,
it.
man. I've watched the first season.
Yeah, it's
and,
worthwhile.
Maybe after the boys.
And Joe Hill's new show Nosferatu, who's the son of Stephen King. He's written Lock and Key, which is another great comic series.
And they also have that
Nosferatu's
show
on
with Ryan Kravitz, the guy who's married to Emily Blunt.
Oh yeah,
John
yeah.
Krasinski.
Yeah, isn't his name John?
Jack Reacher.
Oh, Jack Reacher, yes.
yeah, that's
His show's on Prime.
Yeah,
You mean
That's
Jack
a good
Ryan?
show.
Jack Ryan, yeah.
Jack Ryan.
You were right
Yeah,
in
Jack
Ryan.
words.
Basically,
Jack Ryan,
the
yeah.
guy who's married to Emily Blunt.
John
that guy.
Krasinski
Guy married to
from
Emily Blunt.
SDCC,
Yeah.
And the show
who
is Jack Ryan.
directed the
Silent one.
very
Quiet Place.
amazing A Quiet Place.
Yes.
Yep.
Whose
He's
wife,
Jack Ryan.
read the script and said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And he's like, "Okay."
But yeah, Prime's
Yeah.
good. And it's
Jack
got a lot of old Aussie shows. I got my
That's
dad.
Chris.
That's it to me.
That's his weakness.
My dad
I
got
cancel it
Prime.
now.
like his level is like it's like Last Jedi and Aussie. It's like the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, my old man got it because he found out that Blue Heelers and Water Rats were on it. And he said, that fares at $7 right there. He loves those
Chris
shows.
just shrinked in his
You know, and he watches that. And then I've got him onto other good shows and stuff because
Here's the
he's
thing
got
about
Prime.
Blue Hills.
I love
It's a
Blue Hills.
small town.
Yeah. There's a lot of
How
crime.
much crime is happening?
But
in this
There's
small
that much crime that
Again.
Batman should live there.
That's like Midsummer Murders in
Yeah.
England, where like
Yeah.
every week someone's dying. Like,
How
how
they-
big is this town?
There's a lot of
One.
people, you don't see the breeding that's going on there as well to keep
No,
up with the murder victim.
yeah, but I'm also thinking about how many there's a whole lot of murders in this town. The crime rate would be high.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we move away?
Or get more police officers.
Yeah.
The police station has blown up 4 times in the history of Blue Hero. In one town, 4 times. Twice by the same guy, 4 seasons apart.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Blue Healers podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Corrigan. No, but yeah, look, I was just pointing it out that not only are people like us getting it for those things, my dad's like, oh, jump
There's a
on.
variety.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And he's loving it because I'm now
Yeah, actually, like, I'm just on the app now. There are like tons of
Yeah.
original programming. Like,
my weekly
Yeah,
phone call
find
with my
yourself
dad
in
now.
your own.
You watch this, and this on Prime. I love it. You know, it's good for everyone. And $7 a month. Who's going to miss $7?
yeah, like honestly, I didn't even notice like that. I like it just comes out. Like,
Yeah.
But it's good to have, $7. And not only do you get the show, like Chris was saying, you get free shipping from America, you get the Kindle Unlimited, you get everything. So
Another good
We're just advertising for Amazon right now. Amazon, if you want to pay us a little fee for
maybe just give us all premium subscriptions.
Another good
life.
show that I watched that I actually got Amazon for this other show, but none of you
Yeah.
guys, other guys watch it. But it's a show called The Grand Tour.
Yeah, Top Gear, or Top Gear
Because
remastered.
I grew up because I'm a bit of a
Me
car
too, yeah.
enthusiast, and I don't really share that on with this group, but I am a car.
You heard it here
enthusiast.
first, guys.
And it's like, I don't really go into it, but I grew up watching Top Gear. And
Yeah, me
watching
too.
These
I
guys reviewing cars and just doing shenanigans. It's hilarious.
And I find it funny.
And now they spend millions on every
Yeah,
episode, and
they
they
do.
do these crazy stunts. It is insane.
Fun fact.
I used to love the challenges that they did when they went to Vietnam and all that kind of.
Yeah,
all the
the road trips,
me and my
yeah.
dad used to watch those, man. I love, and the fact that they got rid of. They said we're going to fire you, Jeremy Clarkson. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, I'm going to take all my people and all my fans and
Well, no,
create a
see,
new
he
show
left,
that's the
right?
same.
Yeah, because he left.
Yeah.
But then Richard and James went,
Yeah, we'll come. Yeah,
up yours, BBC,
That's-
we're
yeah.
going as well. And then their first episode is they just went all out and had jet fighters flying through the air and a huge,
and then Top Gear tried to last without them, and it lasted for I think half a season.
Yeah.
or something like that. And
No, they still do it. They still
the
do
ratings
it.
are
It's
just
they?
not as good.
Yeah,
though.
but it's awful though. It's
But yeah, Grand Tour is great. I've watched
It's
it.
just filmed in some guy's garage.
Sorry.
It's just filmed in someone's garage.
Yeah.
No, but Prime's good. Sponsor us, give us money, give us lifetime subscription.
Yes, Amazon.
Look, take me on as a producer for the boys. I'm happy to help you out.
Yeah.
I've read that comic about 170 times. So
Yes.
I'm happy.
all right.
But anyway, on that note,
On that
On
note,
that note,
the name of the episode is Only Jamie Can Kiss Hugh Jackman.
yes.
I want to see that in the show
No,
notes.
it's Michael's favourite song is Chugga Chugga Big Red Car.
no, it's the Hugh Jackman one.
It's Chris,
Or
Chris,
MC was dead.
yeah.
Too much blame.
Well, no promises because I'm the one that does all this.
All right, fair enough.
It's just going to be called episode 20 something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, episode 20 something.
I think we would get more downloads if you called it Only Jamie Can Kiss Hugh Jackman.
I think
I think Hugh Jackman fans, and you might even get the man himself who's like, who's this Jamie? He might think it's a girl. Jamie.
who's this Jamie?
Like,
I see Jamie more commonly as a girl's name than I do as actually a guy's name. So like,
Actually, if you Google it, it's the other way around.
really?
Yeah, Jamie Oliver.
Really?
someone think of the children.
No, wait, are you Googling it right now?
Someone please think of the children.
All right, no, before we turn it off, you gotta, go.
I'm just gonna throw the name Jamie and then see what comes up.
You can't hear it, but you can hear the pitter patter of fingers on Google right now.
Fingers on Google.
You're right. Jamie Oliver is the top. Jamie Oliver is the top result. Obviously, he's the
And
most.
that just brought our rating up a bit.
Obviously, Jamie is
The
the most
episode is now
famous.
called Fingering Google.
Yeah, fingering Google. And
Yeah,
just
Jamie is
anime.
obviously the most famous. Jamie in the universe, Jamie Oliver. Anyway, not important.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
So thank you.
And on that note, thank you very much, guys.
Yes,
And
thank you for your time.
next time we'll talk about stuff.
We'll probably talk about Star Wars and Batman and more MCU and oh my.
Only if they keep telling us
Well, whatever's
more
in the
about the
news,
MCU.
we talk about
News.
it.
No, next time we'll get Chris to talk about Fire Emblem.
Oh yes, by then hopefully I would have
Let's
played
not get
it.
onto that subject now.
Yeah, that's also something.
Look, he's only had it for 3 days. He's only played probably 26, 27 hours.
Yeah, that's not enough hours.
That's for another
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, that's,
So,
He needs to lose the game first when he changes the disc. But this is the Nerd Migos.
Signing out.
Signing out.
be good.